Trojan and Brett Stats Noiseworthy.
And welcome in Monday of Memphis Ole Miss football week. Wow. Everybody's psyched. The first Mike Norvell show was yesterday on television, and then we had the media luncheon today. And we had our first week of high school football. Most of the Power 15, John Varlas's standings, most of them won. A couple of upsets. But you know it's here for real, and there is a buzz, a collective buzz around the city when you go to places, and people are wondering what's going to happen. Will it be a sellout? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yesterday on the Mike Norvell TV show, Allie Prescott was there and said it could be very close to a sellout, and so it's going to be a terrific scene. Fresh from the speakers tour all over the country, our new IT guy, Brett Norsworthy.
Hi, Dave. Brett Norsworthy. Haven't been around in a while. Good to see you.
Well, I haven't been around, or you haven't been around. I don't think we've seen each other for a week and a half.
Since we started together in March. How are you, man?
I heard you knocked him dead at the First Bank banquet that was at Rendezvous, was it not? Yeah. And then you were in Birmingham. What Touchdown Club there?
Tuesday night. Another engagement in Birmingham, and Wednesday in Oxford. Went to a lot of practices. I'm ready. It's game week. If we have a good indicator of a sellout, the number of people that want tickets from me.
Well, so that's good.
And I don't have any. I'm sorry.
Come on.
If you were in Oxford, I could take care of you.
Yeah, well, don't come to
Call
me.
Dave.
Don't come to me.
I've already sent a couple people to it.
They don't give me any.
Dave's got 10 on the 50.
I'm telling you, they don't give me any.
What did we do to deserve the forecast for Saturday? It's gotten a little hotter.
It has. It was high of
78
81. And I got to tell you the truth. So I was having this discussion with Dave Brown.
Well, yeah, you know he knows. He can affect it. He can affect it.
And Dave, well, he was bragging about his app a little bit, to be honest with you, because he's got a bigger app than my app. He said, Dave, the meteorologists use this. Well, he is. He's the weatherman, right? Hey, let's face it. He's the weatherman of like 3 generations. So I'm not going to pick a fight on weather broadcasting with him.
It's Dave. Lance, I think he's got a chain. Brown. I mean, come on.
And he said, I said, you really can't trust him after, 3-day forecast. That's about it. He goes, no, I think we're up to 5, but you certainly can't trust 10. So he sent me yesterday the updated, may have been today, the updated forecast. Because I had it written on the board behind us now that you can see on Sports 56 and Facebook and Periscope and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. And it was supposed to be a high of 81. And really low in the 60s, which means there was a good chance low 70s, mid 70s when they kicked things off at 11 o'clock.
Shall we say autumnal?
Autumnal would be the right word. I've used that word in front of my family and chastised. My wife and my sons chastised me for using that word. So I'm always a little fearful, but I like the word.
Okay.
Autumnal. But I don't think that's going to be the case now because
it's not.
Dave sent me the newest forecast and said, this is why you don't trust 10-day forecast. It's up to 88. But 88 still not bad. Not bad. With cloud cover. Like if you're
at 11 o'clock,
on the east side, seriously, on the east side, you do get a lot of sun.
You do. You sure do.
If there's cloud cover, though, it makes it a lot easier for everybody.
So I think it'll be nice, and I'm excited to all get out. Looking forward to it, and I think, and we're due one. We have not had a great game in this series. We haven't had a close game since 2007.
I know.
And that really wasn't a great game. That was a tale of both halves. It was like 21-0 halftime, Ole Miss, then a furious Tiger comeback, fall a little short to end up, I think, 21-20. But a good back-and-forth pitch battle, 2 minutes to go, don't know what's going to happen, coin toss game. We haven't had it in a long time.
No. Well, 15 was weird because Ole Miss started off so hot, gadget play.
That was about 3 games. Ole Miss first quarter, Tigers second and third, smidge of a comeback. I wouldn't say furious, but a little bit of not much of one.
Right. 31 in a row. I'll never forget that. That was something.
Downhill rolling.
Right. Well, and honestly, after that, we saw a whole bunch of that from Fuentes that year and then Norvell, not necessarily against that kind of competition, but Memphis could score in bunches. We know that. And then in 16, the following year, it was all one-sided. It was all Ole Miss.
Yeah. In 14, 14 was very competitive. That score's not the indicator how close that game was. And I will say it, but for the Dorceus injury, he was rolling that night from the tailback spot. That was big. That was very similar to the Kim Diche injury.
Right. It was.
In the 15 game.
Yeah. You're going to love Dorland's brother. JoJo.
I've seen enough of him.
But, he's not inside anymore. They've moved him out.
I know. Dave, I'm ready for the game.
I'm sure that you are. I'm looking forward to seeing all these new
Brady
guys.
White went over 300 yards 2 times last year. Magnifico's top catch in one game was 4 in one game. I'm surprised by that. Here's one of my early indicators. If Joey Magnifico has anything over 4, if he has 5, I think it's Tigers by about 3. If he has 6, Tigers by about 6. I think with every catch for Magnifico over 4, it's about 3 points for the Tigers because that means you got it yo-yoing on third down, and there's nothing in the sport more dispiriting than that 3rd and 11 and that tight end catches it for 12. And Alan Cross kind of 1-yarded Ole Miss to death in that 2015 game.
That's interesting that you choose that to be the barometer. And
it's one of
just the one guy because, one of the reasons that Joey Magnifico doesn't make more catches is that number 5, Sean Dykes, is the
nephew of Hartley Dykes.
Very good.
Don't remind
tight end.
Don't remind Ole Miss fans about his uncle Hartley Dykes, the wide receiver at Oklahoma State, who was great for them, and Ole Miss I think played against him, or he may not have been there. But also this one for the Tigers. Last year out of 14 games, and this is my barometer, bellwether. What is it in football? The one I go to in the box score. You cover up the final score, the rushing total. Right. And I don't care if it's 15-14 or 148-75. The team that wins the rushing battle wins about 3 out of 4 games. I mean, you can just watch it.
You still think that's the case?
Yes.
I
yes.
I actually believe that as a truism for sure. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I started to think differently because Memphis was so prolific through the air.
I think it's swinging back more important now. But with that,
last
year the Tigers outrushed. They won the rushing battle 11 out of 14 games, and both times against Central Florida, and outrushed Central Florida both times by more than LSU did.
Against Central Florida, the first half, how many yards did the quarterback have? We went to that Wildcat, and then they finally figured it out in the second half. That was the difference. That was a tale of two halves.
I think the game Saturday comes down to offensive line play.
Since you bring that, I agree. I
100%. Whatever O-line wins, there's your winner.
And both of them are new. Both of them have 3 new position players, so that'll be interesting. Here's the other thing. We know Scotty Phillips is really good. I'm curious, how good is Ely? How good is this kid Snoop Connor, who was almost a Tiger?
And Isaiah Woolard, who had the winning touchdown run last year in Little Rock. Coach Matt Luke today at the Ole Miss presser said he thought one of the bigger strengths of the team is the assemblage of running backs, the running game, and Rich Rod wants to run it. More.
That's Rich Rod's deal, right?
It is.
Spread you out, but we're going to run you.
Yeah, and Scotty Phillips he would have gone over 1,000 yards last year, got hurt, I won't say first play of the game, but very early at Texas A&M, and that cost him that game, Vandy and State, the rest of the year. He would have gone over 1,000 yards. He's pretty big time back, and had that great game opening day last year. And something only you and I know is this about this game.
Can't wait to hear, Greg. I mean, Stats.
Ole Miss has never lost a game in the month of August.
Is that right? How many games have they played in the month of August?
A pretty good collection of them. First one was in 91 against Tulane. Never lost a game in the month of August.
Well, I know you know this stat because it's now been well publicized, but I believe since Justin Fuente, so we're going back 7 years now, when the Tigers play at 11 a.m., they don't lose. They're 9-0.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
There's your open day Saturday. Welcome to the Liberty Bowl under a canopy of blue sky. Welcome to college football.
Or gray sky, because it could be.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
The canopy of blue sky.
And I'll be honest with you, Mike Norvell is making no bones about it. He's really excited that he's playing a really good Power 5 football team right off the bat. He'd love for this to be the opener all the time.
I'm with him. I would
Me too.
I vote yay.
Well, they couldn't do it again until when? When's
2023 is the first opening for any game, and they're both right now, and things can slide. You can talk to other teams contractually. That could slide. Like this game slid, remember, because Memphis wanted to do the UCLA thing.
Right.
And Ole Miss wanted to do the Cal thing when the mandated Power 5 at least one non-conference. So that's why this slid. This was supposed to be the last game was supposed to be in 17, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 slid to opening day of 19. And that was one of the concessions that Memphis got and asked for and got and should have is, okay, we will accommodate you, and we need a little help here too, but let's do that last one as the opener. And this will be the last one for a while.
I would love it as an opener. I would just love it. I think Memphis and Ole Miss is just the perfect game.
I do too.
70 miles apart.
And I'll tell you, I preferred it at the Liberty Bowl. It's more fun.
You prefer it there? If you're, let's make the deal right now.
I have zero pull, Dave. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of the pecking order that I'm really ahead of anybody. But to me, very personally, very selfishly, that conjures up to me how college football started most of my childhood. Whether I was listening to Jack Eaton and the Tiger side of the broadcast or Stan Torgerson and the Ole Miss side, and years later with the different voices, Paul or Tom Stocker and then David and you, of course, that to me is how it starts. And I've been there on both sides of it. I was there in '83 for Billy Brewer's first game at Ole Miss, and Rex Dockery put one on Ole Miss that night, 37-17, and it was not that close. And I've been there I won't say I've been to every single Tiger Ole Miss game, but I've been there when it's been the way I want it, and I've been there when it didn't go the way I want it.
I don't think there's anybody going to run over anybody in this game.
I think
everything that I've looked at, everything I've seen, I think this is going to be a one-possession game for most of the football games.
I mean, if the Tigers won 38-31, that's winning, covering, and going over the over.
I honestly don't even care about the covering. If this game was won 17-14, which I don't think it will be.
Would you take 3-0 like in '99 at that snooze fest?
Absolutely, I would.
That was bad, wasn't it?
Good defensive games are fun to broadcast.
I don't mind defensive.
If that was comedy out there,
though.
Well,
like Saturday night's Florida.
I was just going to go there. The same thing, and this is the first game. I can't imagine it would be that sloppy. That looked like two ill-prepared teams.
I can imagine that sloppy, Dave, from this point of view for a lot of places around college football, because the practices I go to and the practices I see do not resemble 10 years ago. They're not even in the ballpark.
They're not as physical. Is that what you're talking about?
And when you're just kind of thumping, nobody to the ground, how do you get out there on game day and really take somebody to the ground if you hadn't practiced?
I'll say this. In the scrimmage that I saw, there was some hitting going on. And the video that I've seen of the scrimmage in Lambeth, there was some hitting going on. Now, I don't think there was that way, and I know in the couple of practices that I went to that was not that case. They were, as you say, being very precautious. Memphis had these new padded helmets, which is supposed to take out some of the concussive part of collisions, which is smart. If you're in a position where there's a lot of hitting, they give you these new helmets. And to me, that's smart. But there was some just totally missing in that Miami, Florida game. I don't know what it was. Rhythm, whatever it might be.
It was bad.
It was a bad game. Bad opener for college football.
But unbelievable TV rating.
That's good news.
Now, it knocked it out. Now, it wasn't much competition up against it, but it really won the night in TV. It sure did. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis. You can go online at lexusofmemphis.com or give them a call at 362-8833, 2600 Ridgeway. Great offers on all 2019 models and always on special lease options. Lexus of Memphis offering the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. If you've ever thought I'd look great in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus of Memphis thinks you would look great in a Lexus as well. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500, and you will be looking and driving great. Lexus of Memphis, the highest standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, you could say the U.S. Open is now on in New York. Venus Williams has just won her first match. But really and truly, the big story following the weekend and the Bears' absolute thrashing of the Indy Colts is
more kicking controversy with the Bears, too.
That Andrew Luck is following this path of Jim Brown, of Barry Sanders, and at the very young, tender age of 29, he said, I can't get past the injuries and the rehab and the pain and the cycle, and I just can't get right, and I feel terrible, and I'm going to retire. I don't know, honestly, if this is a retirement that will stick. I think it's got a shot, but I don't think this is as certain as Jim Brown's or Barry Sanders.
I agree with that. Or Calvin Johnson or Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis was 29.
Same age as Andrew Luck.
And had been to a Super Bowl, and he's going to the Hall of Fame. Andrew Luck's not.
Can I tell you this? Have you ever seen the story of Tim Green, the great Atlanta Falcon
been around
player, Syracuse?
Quite a bit at Super Bowls.
Right. And Tim is a prolific author, as you may all know. He's also, in 60 Minutes, did a big piece on it, which it replayed yesterday. He's still hanging in. It's amazing. There are some advancements being made for ALS, which they can slow down the progress of the disease. So that's good news. That means they're figuring it out. But Tim Green has a son who is still a youngster, like middle school age, and that kid plays football and loves football, but he would not let him be a defensive player. He's the quarterback on the team. And that's because quarterbacks don't have the hits that defensive players and linebackers give out.
And by rule, you can't. Why wouldn't we as a country, almost like President Kennedy said, we're going to go to the moon first. Why don't we dedicate as a country, government, private, everything, all the above, all the neurological stuff, ALS, Parkinson's,
Alzheimer's.
MS, Alzheimer's. Why wouldn't we take that as our next big mission?
I think we sort of, or St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has done that for children.
But they did it. They did it on their own.
They do, and they do, and they still do. And it's easier said than done. But so is the moon, and we did make that.
We did it. I'm with you. Top story. It's the stunning retirement of 29-year-old Andrew Luck, number one pick, can't miss. Played in one AFC Championship game. I don't think he missed, but I don't think he hit either. Now, he's not going to the Hall of Fame. He's been good to great, injured, can't help that. And he said no mas. He said no more. I respect it. It's his life. It's his body. It's his peace of mind. And it's terrible how he was booed Saturday night by the home fans.
Just incredible.
And terrible how some can treat somebody else's business. Everybody's expert on everybody else's business.
I'm going to get to that in medals.
And he covered up a lot. And through the years, you think of all the people that covered up a lot in Indianapolis. Bill Polian as general manager, Tony Dungy as coach, Peyton Manning as the franchise rock to cover up dopey Jimmy Irsay. And I mean dopey Jimmy Irsay.
I just have a feeling when Andrew Luck is out for about a year and his body is back to normal and he's just turned 30. Look at Tom Brady in his 40s. I'm not certain at this point that this guy's done for good. That's what I would say.
Not top story of the day.
I don't know this young man, but everything I heard about him all last year when he was in the news a lot as one of maybe the best high school football player in the city of Memphis and ranked nationally, I think, the 9th overall player. Former Christian Brothers high school football player Bill Norton, and now with Georgia, was arrested yesterday early morning on a DUI. Like I say, I don't know him, and I'm certainly not trying to throw total stones at him because people make mistakes all the time. He is out of jail, released on $3,000 bond, But I don't understand how a kid who's a freshman in high school is able to drive around the campus that late at night.
In college.
Or early, in college. Yeah. That early in the morning. You would think there'd be curfews or
Well, it could have been a lot of us. But I'm with you.
That's right.
And you've seen on the social media the Nick Saban speech about second chances and him referencing Muhsin Muhammad, who he recruited at Michigan State. And I'm with him because I've been the recipient of about 229 chances.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it for him, and I hate it for him that his business and for his family that it's out there in the public domain. That's the peril of being the athlete, though. History student that got a DUI Saturday night in Athens,
nobody knows.
Won't make the Athens newspaper.
I agree.
And that's too bad for him. And it can be part of a great comeback
honestly,
story.
Exactly. And that's certainly not the end of this chapter.
No, and I sure hope it's not. And look, it could have been a lot of Saturday nights for a Brett Norsworthy in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So I don't.
Or for Dave Woloshin in Carbondale.
And so I don't want to chuckle about it either. I'm sorry I did that, but I don't want to crush him. But I'm with you with the story. My not top story. College football started Saturday night, and it was the best thing and the worst thing on TV Saturday night. I was glad it was there, but boy, it was ugly. And there's just no way to simulate football in practice without playing football. And we're going to see some ugly games this week.
You saying there should be exhibition games?
Nope.
Not every first game has been a stinker that I've seen.
No, not all of them. Some look pretty flawless.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times the tackling can get a little snatchy and grabby.
To your point, even 10 years ago, 7 years ago, the summer camp, the fall camp, was a lot more physical than they let it be now. Those are good points, and those are your top and not top stories of the day. Boy, have we got a busy show. Coming up in here just a little bit, Ted Butler. He will be in the house. Final time we wrap up the PGA season with him. The champion, Rory McIlroy. Who had Rory? Do you guys remember?
After Ted golf's over, Dave.
He's coming.
I know, but after Ted
I
speaks,
just was
so before
curious.
it,
Come back for all the ages. Jim Nance should cut something about that one.
Jim Nance.
He should do that. Coming up at
Do we congratulate him?
3:45.
No.
Boy, such bitterness. 3:45 medals, 4
think you're
o'clock.
right.
We're going to make picks. You originally had said we were picking Kentucky, Missouri.
Did I err?
And Vandy, Missouri, and South Carolina.
Oh,
and then you put Kentucky in there.
Oh, Dave,
so
I'm sorry.
I did Kentucky. Don't worry. We're fine.
Vandy, South Carolina, Mizzou, right?
In the,
But I messed up, didn't
you
I?
did. You said Kentucky, which I did.
Whatever you're ready for,
Okay.
I'm ready for.
There we go. Man, it's hard. I hate making these picks. I
I do too.
agonize over it.
I do
I can
too.
never figure it out, and then I'm going, you know what? There's going to be an upset here.
And make
I'm
a-
going here.
make a copy
I'm
and
doing
I'll
that.
keep it all year.
I will do that. I will do that when all is said
You
and done.
too.
We do the picks at 4:30. Oh, I can't wait. John Thompson will be with us, and we'll talk college football, including that stinker of a game. 5 o'clock, Pat Smith from Jocks will join us as Barrett Jones gets the week off, and then Chuck Melkent from New York City, where the U.S. Open is going. Venus is already in. Tonight's the very first big night match.
It's magical.
Serena and Sharapova.
Mm-hmm.
That's not historically been very close.
19-2, Serena.
Yeah. Pretty darn one-sided, that is for sure. And then, of course, at 5:50, it'll be crunch time. Again, you can catch us on TV, on Sports 56, WHBQ, on Facebook, on Periscope, on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Always text us on the First Bank text line at 67129, or you can call on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255. We are just underway as we sit in the Family Leisure Studios. I'm guessing the end of the month coming up, the end of the summer liquidation clearance sale. We celebrate summer, but there's still another couple of months of swimming. So get these great deals now and then go swimming for a couple of months. You're going to love pools as low as $1,999. Patio furniture, state-of-the-art, now a clearance sale at under $1,300. Man, that is a good deal. How about the swim spa, the big one, beginning at $999? And again, still enough time to enjoy all your new toys because summer isn't over. All you got to do is get to I-40 and Whidden Road. That's where 70,000 square feet of family, of fun, and this clearance sale all coming together at family leisure. Ted Butler in the house in just a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Once upon a time, there was a sleepy bear in search of a place to nap. Like the inside of a car. A coupe? Too small. An SUV? Too big. A station wagon? Just right. But as his eyelids began to get heavy... Covered it. September 30th, 2013. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roofing. As most of you know, I don't have a history of bragging or boasting that Five Ash Roofing is the best roofer in the Memphis area, but did you know we are the only diamond level roofing professional in the area? We are one of very few local roofing companies that have been in business for 20 years. We've never had a justified claim against us. We are locally owned and family operated. Our labor warranties are for the life of the shingles. We're experts in insurance claim. We do residential and commercial work. We are the official roofer of the University of Memphis Athletic Department and a proud member of the Tigers home team. We support local youth sports and St. Jude's. We have worked with churches and veteran services to help those in need by providing services at a deep discount or even for free. We are currently working with Young Life to give them a free roof on the historic log cabin in Germantown. Five Ash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infiniti of Memphis, and we've got a new Infiniti crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infiniti has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infiniti of Memphis, and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy.
Great day. Sad, though. Ted Butler in the house last time until next April. Augusta National. Tiger Woods comes back to win his 6th green jacket, right? I mean, is that the perfect
I
way?
vote for that.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Getting ready for it already.
So last time we saw in a final pairing, Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy, that was a knockout. And it was a knockout early by Brooks Koepka. And, man, there was a role reversal yesterday at East Lake in Atlanta. I thought for sure when Rory bogeyed those 2 holes in a row, he was going to bogey 3 in a row. And this thing was going to be interesting down the stretch, but it did not. What do you think? Why did Rory right the ship? How did that happen?
Well, he started making putts, including that one on 16, which probably might be the biggest putt he has made in who knows when. But for the last 2 years, he's been a terrible putter. We've talked about it a lot. And with his game, if he putted really well, he beat everybody. Well, he putted really well, and he beat everybody. And I think we saw the rivalry of the future yesterday.
Brooks and
I think those
Rory?
two, right. I think they're where's DJ? Where's Spieth? Where's
right.
where are these
I
other
don't
guys?
think Spieth has honestly got the game that these guys have. He doesn't have the game that Justin Thomas has.
No.
But there's something wrong with DJ. I don't know if there's marital discord. There's a lot of rumors out there that he and his are they married?
Mm-hmm.
He and Gretzky,
Paulina.
That relationship is on the rocks, and that's the reason for his problems. And who knows?
Feels very volatile. It was volatile last year at the Ryder Cup.
There is something not right with Dustin Johnson because he certainly got the game, and if he writes that, he's going to be in the picture too. But I am just amazed at how Rory has not done anything and then did. If you look at it, this was really a great year for the game. Tiger wins at Augusta. Shane Lowry wins at the British. Who I'm trying to remember. There's 5 different winners this year of the big events, the 4 majors and
Woodland.
Woodland at the U.S. Open, and who won the PGA? It was
Brooks Koepka.
Oh yeah, Brooks. So we had 4 different guys, and then Rory wins the FedEx Cup. I mean that is
the
so
players
and the players would have been nicer actually if it had been another player, a guy who won the players, then you would have total parity.
Well, I love it. I'm glad to see Brooks get taken down because he just looks unbeatable walking down the fairways. He just looks like nothing's going to bother him, nothing's going to shake him. Double bogey, loses the golf ball, goes back, birdies the next hole. Toughest hole in the golf course. How can you lose the golf ball in a pro tournament? And that's the rule I agree with. 3 minutes, wrong. Got to be 5 minutes to look for it. 3 minutes is not enough time to look for a golf ball.
It looked like you could get poison ivy bad in about a minute and a half over there where they were looking.
Well,
really, you think so? Because we just had this whole big thing about
pace of play,
40 seconds. Come on, put them on the clock.
The new drop down by the knee and sit up high.
I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. But
lost ball is a big deal, though. I mean, that's a significant episode.
5 minutes.
That's back to the tee.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Longer than that for a while. But regardless, the fact is he came back and birdied the next hole, and I thought, okay, here he goes. And it was pretty much nip and tuck. And like you said, when Rory bogeyed those 2 holes, I thought, got a 20, 15-footer for par. And
I thought he'd gotten shaky.
Is it? And he drains it.
Going into yesterday, I knew it'd be big TV fun, and I'm with you. This I don't know if it's Jack and Arnie. It very easily could be
similar if you think about it.
It could be Jack and Tom Watson, maybe very, very easily. And it'll be fun going forward. But I thought Brooks Koepka would put it on him like he did in Memphis. He wanted a piece of him in Memphis and got him. I didn't know Rory had that in him, I'll be honest.
Well, he hadn't until yesterday. But
he bowed up, didn't he?
The shots he hit coming down the stretch, and just watching him play golf, Koepka's just walking straight down there, and Rory's bouncing along. It's just good guy, bad guy, excitement, fun guy, methodical. Nicholas Palmer,
Which one of those two will be man of the people?
It has to be Rory, I would think. I mean, how do you get excited about Koepka?
Because he's just so robotically good.
Is he then Jack Nicklaus like? Because Jack Nicklaus wasn't a personality back in the day.
Jack learned. Jack got better as time went on.
I think Brooks Koepka will learn too. I'm going to go back to my own experience with him, right? I had to interview him literally 2 different times after the match. Now, obviously, he's in a fantastic mood. He had just won almost $5 million that day, right? So he's going to be accommodating. But he was really funny and really good with me when I interviewed him on the 18th green in front of everybody, and then we went to a little separate thing upstairs for FedEx and also a bunch of the volunteers. And he was outstanding in that. I think he's capable of being a bigger personality than he is right now. But I think that's well taken, is that he's like Nicholas, and you could say that Rory would be a man of the people like Arnie.
Like Phil was.
And or like Phil. Phil would certainly fit that bill. But let's face it, Phil's time is gone. And now, will these two guys really be that? And I think you're right. I think you nail it. But I wonder this. Do those two guys, as they are they strong enough to keep golf going the way Tiger did?
The way Tiger did, probably not. I don't think so. And there's a whole bunch of guys nittle goosing on their heels right now. I mean, they're coming from everywhere. Schauffele, Xander. I mean, good grief. And
Justin Thomas.
And Hovland and Matthew Wolff and all these guys that are lurking about, getting ready to.
Yeah, but those are one tournament guys so far.
So far, well, it starts that way.
Yeah, I'm not counting them yet.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. There's enough young guys and you could throw in Jordan Spieth there, and that every week should be a shootout. When you talk about Dustin Johnson still in that mix, and certainly Justin Thomas, who from out of nowhere was able to win 2 weeks ago.
Are there any guys, Ted, you're ready to kind of move away from? I know he's still young, but hadn't we kind of been waiting for a while for the Tony Finau emergence?
Yes. And Patrick Cantlay,
your guy,
3 week in a row pick.
I agree.
Went from 6th to 2nd to nowhere.
He did win at Memorial, but looked a little wobbly at East Lake.
I think Finau's going to win. He's got all the tools. It's hard to win. I mean, 18 under par at East Lake. Think about that.
Well,
that's a hard golf course.
But wait a second.
Yeah, some of that was
he was 13 under.
Yeah,
he was truly 13 under.
Well, that's what Tiger 13 under last year.
Might have been
12 or 13.
Yeah. So that's
either way, 13 under on that golf course
is incredible.
Tony Finau, I think, is moving, not moved, not ED, not past tense, moving into Matt Kuchar range.
Yeah. He's.
I think he's a better player than
better.
Matt
I
Kuchar.
agree with you. I think Kuchar's so steady. Kuchar's just a Bruce Crampton money machine.
Steve Stricker.
Well, let me ask you this seriously. I don't know if that's a result of all the money, and I don't think Matt Kuchar cares if he wins.
I don't think he.
I really don't. If he knows I'm going to get 500, 600 grand anyway,
you got my deposit slip.
I'm really happy with where I'm. I don't care about the pressure because I don't care. Yeah. I'm going to get 700 grand
and can have a semblance of a normal life. I wouldn't imagine Matt Kuchar's bothered at dinner. Would you?
No.
Not like Tiger Woods.
He has
or Rory McIlroy.
I would not want that life. All right, this question about Xander Schauffele. Do you believe him? Do you believe him when he says he didn't know that if he had ever had or hadn't had a hole-in-one? Do you believe that?
No, I thought it was for sure that he hadn't. And that was the first one that he ever made in his life.
He had not had one, but he said he did not know whether he had or had not made one.
I don't see how you couldn't rember that.
I don't
because I remember when I got one
and who you played with and what club you hit.
Absolutely,
and the wind direction. I thought that interview. Look, I like humble people, but I thought it was false humility. And then he said when he hit the shot that he didn't even see it go in, and they showed the replay, and he never took his eyes off of it. Come on, man.
Well,
I'm not going to hold it against him.
Really. And he said in his practice rounds,
why do that? Why gild the lily like that?
He said never made it because I never aim at the pin in practice rounds anyway. I'm always aiming for places on the green, spots on the green, not really trying to make one. Like Ben Hogan said, I'd have bet a lot more if I'd aimed to the pin more.
I'll just say this: the man can play. The
young
guy
absolutely.
Can play.
He's got a game.
The first time I ever saw him play, it's funny you say Steve Stricker because I walked with him at Germantown Country Club. Boy, I miss that place. Germantown Country Club. It was him and Steve Stricker, and I believe it was Robert Garrigus, who, by the way, could hit the ball a long way. And Steve Stricker was 30 yards behind Garrigus and 40 yards behind Xander Schauffele. And I'm going, how in the world can this little guy, how is he hitting the ball past everybody like that? But he does.
Well, they've got those fast twitch muscles, and they hit it solid. They swing 120 miles an hour, and it just, like Rory, he makes that magic move that only he can do when he starts his hips forward way before he finishes the backswing and creates this torque that makes you wonder how long his back's going to hold up doing that. But nobody else swings like he does.
Should we turn the ball back? Should we dial the ball back a little?
Well, they've been saying that for years. 360 tee shots, 350.
Chicks dig the 320 carry.
I say
we're not we're not doing anything different.
I say no because it's hard enough as it is. If you make it a little easier, what of it? Even for them.
Well, and still 340-yard tee shots. You've got to hit it in a 25-yard fairway. If they keep making the rough deep enough or deeper,
that's how they can make it harder and not kill the amateur golfer.
All right, Ted, the next time we will see you will be the Monday before Golf World assembles at Augusta National. Who will be the favorite? The defending champ, Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, or someone else?
Probably right now. I don't know what kind of golf they're going to play between now and then, but I probably not Tiger.
Unless Tiger goes crazy in Japan in October,
right?
And then
or the 1 or 2 events,
Asia or somewhere. I don't know that. I would think McIlroy and Koepka. I mean, they're both.
Well, the storyline is going to be, can McIlroy get the career Grand Slam, which is the story every April now for the last 4 or 5 years.
And we would be the Golf World. We would like that, wouldn't we?
I would.
I would.
Absolutely.
Look,
if he got it in April, and then Jordan Spieth got it in May at the PGA, that's all he lacks. And then at the Open Championship, Brooks Koepka get that to put him one shy of one. Or if Phil Mickelson finally got it at U.S. Open, would be fine.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. I think Tiger Woods gets another major before Phil does. I just hope Phil. I just honestly, the one thing I really want for Tiger Woods before it's all done is 2 more wins. I want him to break Sam Snead's record.
Yep.
And that you would think would be
doable.
Inside, because he could still play unless he is just totally mentally finished. He could still and should be able to play for another 5 years, 6 years.
One more for 2020 in the moving on category. Is it time to move on from Ricky Fowler?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's too young. I just think he's so busy doing other stuff. You have to sacrifice so much to be a big-time winner. You've got to be all encompassed, and I think he's just having a lot of fun with his life. He's doing millions in commercials, and I don't know if he's got that deep killer instinct yet. He doesn't seem to do it down the stretch.
I think he's got a Kuchar kind of thing, and he's made more money than Kuchar. He really has. He's had this flair. It got him more earnings that way. It was unreal. Before we let you go, did you like the format that they used with the weighted thing where Koepka was 8 or Justin Thomas was 18, a 10 under to start?
The way it ended up, yeah. I was very skeptical at the beginning. It sounded strange. It felt strange. But as it turns out, it worked out fine.
Well, as it turns out, you got the 2 best players in the world
in the final group.
And that part of it was good. There's something I don't like about it. I don't know why. And I should, because part of the reason we love golf and you can play it forever is the handicap system. That's what it is.
It was something I liked it okay, but there was something about it that I wasn't wild about.
Well, it's gimmicky.
It is.
It's a darn gimmicky thing.
Golf and baseball, and they both did go gimmicky this weekend. Stop. Just low man wins.
So
be who you are.
If you're in the top 30, everybody's on equal footing as you tee off for the last day. No advantage of having leading in the cup. Points or no.
Well, this way, I'll tell you what, this way they all came. They all came because they had to have enough points in order to be ahead like that. And look, Justin Thomas came out of nowhere to get that advantage that he couldn't hold. I mean, Rory McIlroy came from 5 back to begin with.
Yeah, he won.
And he absolutely won it. It's always a pleasure. Go see our friend Ted at Summer Golf and Games. There's not been anyone I know that didn't go for a lesson from Ted that didn't turn out to be a better player. And I should point out, for you older people, he's the best at figuring out things if you can't swing like you used to. If you've got injuries or whatever, you're the best at that. You create new swings.
Well, a lot of older guys I teach that I'm not taking a lesson from a young guy because they don't know how I feel. They don't have the aches and pains and back and
So
knees.
are you saying
I do.
that you're the geriatric king?
Well, it could be
that what
because I
you're
am
saying?
one.
Jack LaLanne.
I'm in that league right now.
Thank you, Ted. I'm going to
Ted,
miss
thank
you,
you.
but we'll see you in April.
Got
We
it.
may see you for the President's Cup. Maybe a little surprise visit here and there.
That could work.
All right. Thank you much. We appreciate
See you
it.
guys.
We got to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to give some medals out here. I'll let you know that this portion of the show is brought to you by Conway. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and, of course, the tankless water heater where you never run out of hot water. You only pay for the water you're using, and you never have to worry at all about any kind of tank bursting. There is no tank. This is the newest technology, and it's affordable through Conway. 384-3511, 384-3511. Never run out of hot water. I know you got kids going to school. They don't want to run out of hot water. If you're the last one and you don't want to, it's simple. Get a tankless from Conway. Back in a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Kay, I understand you suffered from symptoms of Parkinson's. Can you tell me how the Schrader Orthopedic Group with the stem cells helped you?
Stem cell had been something I had been researching for quite some time for Parkinson's, and I knew stem cell was something that was to be investigated, but when I heard about the Schrader Clinic and that they use your own stem cell, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I came up for my consultation and I said, I'm ready to go. I saw my first sign with my right hand because that's where I was first aware of my Parkinson's, and my hand had been drawing up. I did what I normally do, like stretching my hand out, and I stretched and stretched and stretched, and all of a sudden, both hands looked exactly alike.
I know you went in for Parkinson's, but what else happened?
Have TMJ dysfunction, and as I stretched my mouth and I kept stretching, I thought, it's not cracking, it's not hurting. So that was another benefit.
Call 901-465-4300 and see how Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell can help you today. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales. At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back into the Family Leisure Studios. Good to have Brett back. And now you're stuck with us for a while. Football's here. We're not going anywhere. In fact, we'll be with you on Monday, the Monday of Labor Day. We will all be here doing our thing. We'll be talking about Memphis and Ole Miss. There will be half of us who will be happy and half of us who will not be so happy. That is for sure.
We'll be with you tomorrow at the Spirit Shop.
Oh, that's right. We will
Come
be.
see us.
I already talked a little bit about there'll be another bourbon tasting. I believe
And
it's
a pair of tickets to Memphis Ole Miss game.
That is so kind of you for arranging that. Is that 50 airline tickets like you were bragging about?
No.
Oh. They're good, though.
Only you get 50.
Only I get 50, yeah. I just hope there are 50,000 that are on hand on Saturday. You know, the point was being made. and maybe we'll have to do somewhat combined picks in the medals in one segment after this. But the point was made is if the crowd's not 50, let's say it's not even close to 50, do we gauge that college football in this marketplace is just fractured and that it's never going to really be a big enough thing for Memphis?
I don't think we take that matter of fact about it. I'll be surprised and disappointed if not. I think Ole Miss crowd will not be any more than about 5,000 or 6,000. It was about 7 in 2015. The lion's share of that crowd in 2015 was Memphis Tigers fans, and it's never incumbent on the visitor to sell it out. Need to help a little, and I think Ole Miss will.
If there's 7,000, that goes a long way.
But no, I just think we're at the point where Labor Day weekend, the great TVs, the great man caves, the great game watching at home is really hurt, and out at the stadium now has been fractured, has been cut into.
But let me play devil's advocate here, because I could take your side of this very easily. But we're a city of over 1 million people now, if you take in the whole area. And there's not going to be a better opening game than this, honestly. This is Memphis predicted to win every game they're playing in, coming off five straight years of going to bowl games. You got this incredibly potent offense. You've got an improved defense, most likely. You got Ralph Russo saying they're going to go to the Cotton Bowl to take on Michigan, for goodness sake. And I start to really wonder, because I've always thought that if Memphis was really good, especially if they were in a Power 5 conference, they would easily draw 40,000 a game. Easily. And now look, I should point out that Allie Prescott yesterday said he felt there was a really good chance this would be a sellout. Well, a sellout is closer to 60 than it is 50. And so, this discussion may be moot, but if there's 35 or 38,000 people, I'm going to be disappointed, and I'm going to wonder, will there be enough people that care about college football in this marketplace for Memphis?
So I don't think it's a college. It would be indictable on college football. I think it would be questions around Memphis. If not now, when? If they're not turned on by this, what turns you on?
But it could very well be just because of the evolution of the game. Okay, I mean, if we go back and we talk in the 70s and early 80s about college football, we don't talk in terms of Power 5 and non-Power 5. This is where we are now. So when you've got alumni from Mississippi, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, UT, of course, and they're all heavy alumni groups in this town, then it makes you wonder, because those are Power 5, and that's where the attention really is. And do we care enough about the American? And can this school, which has invested, when you're paying a head coach the money you're paying, when you're paying coordinators the kind of money that Memphis is committed to the offensive and defensive coordinator, is there enough interest to make that a worthwhile investment?
Well,
I think it's a fair question.
We'll
to
see,
ask.
and probably a debate discussion point more for next week, and I hope it's one that we don't have to have.
I do too. Joe wants to weigh in on Tiger attendance. Let's get him on real quick before we take the break and we come back and make picks.
Hey, Joe.
Give medals. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, guys. Just quickly, you talking about drawing 40. Excuse me. Where we've seen the Tigers when it hasn't been a regional opponent like Ole Miss or UT, the Zenith was that 03 team where made the first bowl in 32 years. I remember they played South Florida, game after D'Angelo was hurt, and they drew 48 or 49. And then really, I guess the peak Zenith, if you want to use that word again, was the Navy home game. We were ranked 13th in the initial playoff ranking. We drew 55,000.
That Navy game, you're right. That gave me a lot of hope. And I'll tell you something else. The UCLA game, UCLA didn't bring but 1,000 people if they brought that.
The Kansas game
was a well-attended game. So, those kind of things give me hope. That's for sure. But here I go. I know there's 25,000 diehards. We got almost 25,000 season tickets sold. But you got to have more, and don't expect to be a walk-up crowd. It's physically impossible to have more than 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2,000 walk up and get into the game. Otherwise, the lines go to the street and nobody gets into the halftime.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
So buy tickets this week, I guess is what I'm saying. Whether it's going to be great, and this is it. I really don't know. They could be very close to a sellout. These are some of the things I've been talking about and thinking about. And
I think I'm going to live with whatever it is, but okay, 45 plus, okay. Anything that starts with 5, I'm fine. 2 5s, 55, great.
And anything that's 50 plus,
yeah.
I'm ecstatic.
42, 43 even. Okay. Disappointed, but
yeah. Well,
if it's under 40, big debate point next week.
Sure.
I don't think that'd be the case. I hope it not.
I don't think it'll be either. We take the time out. When we come back, we do have picks to make and medals to give. John Thompson at 4:30. It'll be a busy hour. Hour number 2 on this fabulous Monday of the Ole Miss Memphis week right here on Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy 5 owner of 5 Roofing. It's an exciting time to be a Memphis Tiger fan, and we at 5 Roofing have decided to share our excitement. We are proud members of the Tigers home team, which means we sponsor the Tigers athletic department, and we're also season ticket holders to both the football and basketball programs. We will be giving away 2 and sometimes 4 tickets to most of the games this coming year. To have a chance at winning the tickets, find our Facebook page, like, and share our post. The more you share, the more chances you have to win. We also want to give away some tickets to those who wouldn't otherwise get a chance to go. So, you can go to memphisroofer.com or 5ash.com and send us a note why you or someone you know should get the tickets. And as always, 5 Roofing is fair, honest, and ethical. We're experts in all forms of roofing for both residential and commercial buildings. 5 Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Did you know Davis Motorhome Mart is one of the top 10 Tiffin dealers in the U.S.? Come tour the 7.5 acres of beautiful travel trailers, motorhomes, fifth wheels, and toy haul or towables half-tons. Motorhomes from 27 feet up to 45 feet from brands like Winnebago, Coachman, Puma, Highland Ridge, and Tiffin. Take advantage of Davis Motorhome Mart's big blowout sale on 2019s and 2020s on their way. Stop by your gateway to travel freedom. Davis Motorhome Mart at 1145 East Brooks Road in Memphis. Call 901-332-3414 and cruise by the website davismotorhomes.com.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, excellence in office solutions.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch for information on breaking news, chances to win prizes, and video of all the shows. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Ah, yes. Welcome back in. We got picks coming your way. We got medals coming your way. What now?
8-0 all-time for Ole Miss in August.
8-0 all-time, and Memphis, I believe, is
5-3.
But Memphis is 9-0 in 11 o'clock games.
Something's got to give. You know what? Every sports information director, the standard answer when you ask them about a nugget, a note, you know what their answer always is? It's in the notes. They're all in the notes.
I just got the notes today. Memphis wouldn't give out the notes till noon.
Man, it's
they did not want anybody seeing that. That's too deep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the precious depth chart. Today is depth chart Monday, game notes Monday, starting quarterbacks Monday around the country. It really is. I love diving into the game notes from around the country.
All right, which do you want to start with, picks or
tell me, Dave?
Medals.
You're Dave on the marquee. It says Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. So,
well,
so your call.
I didn't. I always thought that was because when we do golf picks.
Oh, the golf, Drew. Do we tell him?
Oh, you gave me.
We can
that
tell him.
Too.
No, Dave, it's not that. But we're kind of happy for you. Drew, what have I often said about that aging star, whether it's sound, screen, sports, Tiger?
Yeah, they always have at least one last ride.
One last
into the sunset.
Great act. You had it.
Like Tiger at Augusta? That was it for me?
That's it.
You're done
So
now.
Why am I even bothering with these picks then?
I don't know, Dave. Because, it was sad out there seeing Sinatra not hit the high notes, wasn't it? Those years when really he got relegated. I hate to say this. I'm chairman of the board, but he got relegated to a lounge act. And that's kind of where you're going.
First off, Sinatra was never a lounge act.
No, he wasn't. I mean, that's heresy.
That is absolute falsehood.
But, it was Cosell during the Ali-Trevor Burbick fight going, stop this in the name of all things sacred. That's what we're going to be doing for you. You had your last great act.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, let's start. We got today. We decided we got Kentucky, Missouri, and Vandy.
All right, we got to incorporate Drew too, and we got to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We got to get into the hurry up offense. You tell me where you want to start. Kentucky.
Let's start with Kentucky. They beat Toledo at home, Eastern Michigan at home. They lose to Florida at home. They lose to Mississippi State on the road in Starkville and to South Carolina.
We're exact so far. You exact.
They beat Arkansas.
Ditto.
They lose to Georgia. They beat Missouri. That one you don't have, I know.
First difference, yes.
Then they beat Tennessee at home, lose to Vandy in Nashville, beat UT Martin, and beat Louisville. I've got them 7-5 and 3-5.
Boy, that was a circuitous route for us, basically the same. Like you said, we worked the same through the Arkansas game with losses to Florida and South Carolina, lose to Georgia, agreed. I've got a loss to Mizzou in Lexington, a loss to Tennessee in Lexington, win over Vandy in Nashville, you differ there, win over UT Martin, win over Louisville. And what a change in that Governor's Cup game, how he's turned that around from when it was Louisville domination going their way into the ACC, into Bobby Petrino, Tom Jurich, everything, sunshine and daffodils.
You can go back to Howard Schnellenberger at Louisville, and they dominated that series.
I mean, they had taken that thing over.
It's going 180, there's no doubt. What have you got?
I've got Kentucky finishing the season 8-4, 4-4 in conference. I'm exactly all the way up to the Missouri game. I've got them winning in Lexington against Missouri.
Oh, so you and I are
beating
alike,
Tennessee,
we're
beating Vandy, beating UT Martin, and beating Louisville.
So fourth year in a row, they've won at least 4 conference games, 4-4, 4-4, 5-3, and another 4-4. If that doesn't parlay him into something big in the Big Ten, isn't he made to be in the Big Ten?
I think he is. I think he's terrific.
I do too.
I really do.
I do too. I'm 6-6, 2-6.
All right, so you're 6-6, 2-6. I'm 7-5, 3-5. He's 8-4 and 4-4. Okay, so we've got that. Then we go to Missouri, and I'm high on Missouri. They're going to beat Wyoming in Laramie. They're going to beat West Virginia in Columbia. They're going to beat SEMA. They're going to beat South Carolina at home. They're going to beat Troy. They're going to beat Ole Miss. They're going to beat Vandy. They're going to lose to Kentucky. There's my upset.
I got to win there.
They're going to lose to Georgia. They're going to lose to Florida at home. They're going to beat Tennessee. They're going to beat Arkansas. 9-3, 5-3, and based on what we saw with Mississippi State, that precedent with that educational scandal, I think they got grounds for appeal, and I'll bet you they become bowl eligible.
Dave, if Mizzou doesn't win that case, then isn't that finally for everyone, every member institution of the NCAA, if they don't get relief from that, isn't it time to go, all right, to heck with it? We don't – what an organization we're in. You comply. You're subservient. You're obliging. You go, here's where we make. Now, State did all that. I want to give Mississippi State credit.
Yeah.
They got in front of this, and setting Nick Witherspoon down was big, and we didn't know why.
Right.
We probably wrongly just stereotyped off the court discipline stuff.
But my question
bad
is, what's different in the Missouri case?
Nothing, and that's why if Mizzou can't get relief when you do all that, you can't comply with them and you can't buck them. That's with a B. You can't fight them. You can't comply with them. Why do we spend the money on lawyers to do anything? Just go ahead and do what you want to do to us. If Mizzou doesn't get relief, then that should send the sign to everybody out there. This is no win. We can't win slow walking it. We can't win being compliant. Now, I will say this about Mississippi State's deal. And I agree with the Nick Saban over the weekend treatises on second and third, and in some cases 293 chances. In the big scheme of things, do you want to really kick those youngsters out of school for that? Now, all of them probably could show somewhere else and play football. But let's go general student population, whether it was Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Memphis, Tennessee, and I said during the whole Ole Miss NCAA saga, don't be too gleeful out there. And everybody is. When you're in trouble, you got one person for you and 129 in FBS football, hoping you get the hammer.
I don't want to be holier than thou because I'm not a rule follower. I said this.
I don't either. I'm not either
on Friday.
I've been busted.
If you're paying money for somebody to take a test for you, that's wrong.
It is
wrong.
wrong.
If you get caught doing that, I think you should be sent away. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a second chance somewhere else.
But
I don't think you should be allowed to go back if you did that because you knowingly did it. You said, "Here's $60. Here's $350.
Get me through architectural lecture."
Now I'm going to tell you something else.
Who among us had been there?
I talked about that with my own kids, next generation down, and I'm supposed to teach them right from wrong, right? So I'm pointing the finger at me. But they go, come on, everybody does that. Everybody would pay for that. Are you kidding me? If I caught them doing that, I'd have said, you better figure out a way to pay your own tuition.
Well, I think a lot do it.
Apparently.
And I don't want to get too sanctimonious, but I'm with you on after the fact. Because if you were banking and finance major, if you were econ major, if you were Joe Q English major, if you were Joe Q elementary education major, and you got caught in that, you're expelled from school.
Absolutely. Right.
And your parents are notified why.
You broke the law. You broke the code. You broke whatever and you're really not able. If you had to do that, you're really not able to move on to the next stage.
And I cheated in college. I mean, look, if you had peripheral vision in those 600 class size places taking those Scantron tests, if you had any peripheral vision, you could see on the other papers.
I must be the only guy. I never did it.
Did y'all have 600-person classes at SIU?
We had big lecture halls. I
mean, you couldn't help but look and see.
But you could be sitting next door to a dummy. I'm not copying off somebody.
No,
else.
I knew Tracy Price was smart.
See, there you go.
I knew she was.
You can't follow all the rules. I had a history
least
professor
you-
almost kicked me out of school because I didn't cite something right on a paper and threatened to kick me out of school.
Down in the IBID?
Yeah, literally a quote. Didn't cite the quote just right. Actually, only left out the end of the parentheses like this. Left out one side of it and threatened to kick me out of school for plagiarism.
Look,
because I didn't quote it right.
We took a few liberties with some of the academics, okay? But if I'd have gotten caught, then you'd have been out. And I think now in this case, I don't know how they hit the field, but they're going to. But State got out in front of it, and it's under the leadership of Mark Keenum and John Cohen. They got out in front of it, and they landed the plane safely, and it's going to be mostly no big deal.
I am telling you, it's probably the right thing, but it's also very fortunate for the conference and for that school and those teammates that there are going to be a lot of playing a bowl because it could easily be Missouri, which I do think now Missouri's got
all right, my Mizzou,
a case.
I'm strong on Mizzou. I'm with you. Undefeated through the Kentucky game. They go to Athens. That would be the CBS game. Can you believe that? Mm-hmm. That'd be Saturday afternoon, CBS. LSU Bama probably kick tonight if that's the case. They lose at Georgia. They lose at Florida, or they lose to Florida and Columbia, and they lose to Tennessee in Columbia. Beat Arkansas and Little Rock, 9 up, 3 down, 5-3 in the league. They're a strong bowl.
We have it a little different, but we have the exact same record. Now I'm going to beg to differ with you. If both LSU and Alabama are undefeated at that time, the Alabama chip trumps the
they
Missouri
go to Saturday
trip.
night.
I would think the number one game would be the Alabama LSU game
on Saturday night. On Saturday afternoon at 2:30 will be Mizzou and Georgia.
So which is? I thought the number one game is the CBS game, no matter what.
They have about 2 or 3 windows to have 2 games, a 2:30 and a 7.
Which is the bigger game?
Oh, so who would Brad and Gary go to?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
I would think it's Alabama, just personally. What have you got from Missouri, Drew?
I'm with y'all on how they start. I think they start off hot, start off 7-0, then lose to Kentucky in Lexington, lose in Athens, lose at home against Florida, do beat Tennessee, but lose in Little Rock to Arkansas at the end of the season.
I'm a little bigger on Tennessee than most, including most Tennessee fans.
Well, we'll get to those a little bit later in the week. And finally, Vandy, that I've got losing to Georgia, losing to Purdue, losing to LSU at home, beating Northern Illinois, although Northern Illinois has picked to win their league. That might be harder than you think. Losing to Ole Miss and Oxford, beating UNLV at home, losing to Missouri, losing to South Carolina, losing to Florida. Here's their upset because they're going to win a game. They got to beat Kentucky in Nashville. They're going to beat East Tennessee State and then lose to Tennessee this year in Knoxville. I've got them 4-8 and 1-7.
All right, all these predictions, and I know we will get pilloried and made fun of and castigated and all that
and
good
rightfully
stuff.
So.
And rightfully so. It's the time of year for that. And I did not know either, so I'm not trying to be that wise guy. But week 2 for Vanderbilt against Purdue, I got them losing to Georgia. I have them beating Purdue in West Lafayette.
Wow.
For lunch, anywhere either of y'all want to go, if you both get it, I'll take both of you. Desmond Howard on Saturday, before his big faux pas, picked a Purdue player to win the Heisman Trophy. Name him.
I, as a Heisman voter, cannot.
I couldn't have with 1 million guesses.
Who is it?
Rondale Moore.
So and what does Rondale Moore play? Is a quarterback?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Gets a lot of touches.
I'm going to tell you the running back from Wisconsin is the one guy that I see that's not a quarterback that's got a chance. I never heard of that. What was Desmond Howard's football?
He had a tough Saturday. I can't repeat it.
Really? I heard Lee Corso did okay.
And in the big scheme of things, just like forgiving and moving on from Mississippi State on that, what he said, I probably wouldn't have said it. I don't get near even the little bitty words. And it was not the end of time, but I don't think he would use that again.
How is Corso? Corso's got to be, 82 now? And pretty much recovered from
his role is very limited.
Sure.
It's at the Open.
And at the end.
They bring him back for some panels and then the best 4 minutes in college football TV.
Right.
At the end, and he handles it well. he has had health issues. He had a stroke several years ago, and I would say Lee Corso's 82 or 83.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
And is trying very hard, but his role has to be limited.
I am glad that
he's 84.
84.
I think that our culture that tends to become more critical of announcers as they get older. Look at Brent Musburger. This college football culture has embraced Lee Corso, and they're pulling for him, and they're glad he's still on, despite the health issues that he's had, and it's diminished a little bit of what he can do. I'm really glad.
Post Lee Corso, I think they would make a mistake to try to keep doing the helmet dance with somebody else.
Oh, yeah, they won't,
because I don't think it'll come off.
No,
Sorry,
no.
Vandy starts 1-1, lost over Georgia, win over Purdue, lose to LSU, beat Northern Illinois. That won't be easy.
I agree.
Lose to Ole Miss in Oxford, beat UNLV in Nashville, lose to Mizzou, lose to South Carolina, lose to Florida, lose to Kentucky, beat ETSU, lose to Tennessee, 4-8, 0-8 in the league.
So you've got them beating Purdue, though, huh?
I've got them beating Purdue as well, starting off the season 1-1, lost to LSU, beat Northern Illinois, lose to Ole Miss, beat UNLV, lose to Missouri, lose to South Carolina, lose to Florida, lose to Kentucky, beat ETSU, and Derek Mason keeps the streak going. He's got their number.
Whoa.
5-7, 1-7 in conference.
Speaking of Lee Corso, that was a Lee Corso double yo.
And those are your picks. What have we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow we will pick. Since I totally messed it up today, Dave, I'm sorry. I made 2 mistakes already today.
All right.
Back. Golly, tomorrow.
You're a little rusty.
We will do Mizzou.
We already did it.
We already did it. 3 mistakes. Which one did we not do today? South Carolina. Florida and Georgia tomorrow. South Carolina, Florida, Georgia.
Okay. Very good. Got it for tomorrow.
Sorry, man.
That's okay. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, if I can find my notes, for precious metals. Got to give a bronze medal to Christian Brothers running back Al Wooten, who had 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and a 90-yard kickoff return and rallied the brothers past Bob Jones High School. The Christian Brothers Purple Wave winners over a very good program from Alabama, and Al Wooten was terrific.
I was shocked in John Varlas's preview of that game, and he had all the state playoff appearances through the years.
Yeah.
And you almost have to go and look to believe, is this really true about CBHS? 1 state championship, 1977, Ronnie Skinner at the Liberty Bowl on the quarterback throw-around. I think over Hamilton.
That's the only state championship?
1977.
John Varlas, by the way, did an unbelievable job. We had him last week while you were gone. Unbelievable job with all those 15 teams. And we're going over each team, Brett. And, I got all my notes, and I got his story in front of me so I can refer to them quickly. Didn't look at any note the whole time. That blew me away.
He's the best.
I got to give another bronze medal, this time to Troy Aikman, who gave it to one of the biggest phonies, in my opinion, in our business today.
Boy, he did.
And that is Doug Gottlieb, who basically
he needed it too.
Gave it to Andrew Luck for quitting, for retiring. And Troy Aikman,
took him down.
And I give him a bronze medal for that. I'm giving a silver medal to the New York Yankees. Do you know how many home runs they hit in this month with still some days to go? 59. They have hit 59 home runs in the month of August, and that is a new record. So they get a silver medal. So does Carly Lloyd. The U.S. women's national team star in soccer made a 55-yard field goal last week at the Philadelphia Eagles training camp and says she's thinking about it. She might want to take a shot at being an NFL kicker. She says she's had the distance from 57 and missed it wide right. That's better than Cody Parkey. He misses from 43.
We knew it was coming. The kicking in the bag.
Let it go, man. Come on.
Bring in Carly Lloyd, baby. Rather have her than Parkey.
If she can make them, she'll make a team.
And my gold medal goes to Rory McIlroy, who showed a lot of moxie. He folded in Memphis. He even, did you see in his post-game interview, he referenced how he didn't bring the fight to Brooks Koepka in Memphis. Well, he brought it yesterday.
Memphis was prominent in that rematch yesterday.
And he won $15 million, and he won me the Pick'em contest. Gold medal all the way around.
I knew it'd be this bad, didn't you?
I really did.
We'll never live it down.
We won't. And like I said a couple weeks ago, everybody told me when I was going to start working with Dave every day, he's a true professional, great to work with. Still haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen the professionalness.
Wow, he gets a rust right now from me. That is a shot.
My bronze goes to, and it will be some story, nephew of, and the route taken, but he's positioned himself for it. Bronze medal for getting himself back professionally, and I assume personally, to this position, and it's Chad Kelly. Here's your chance, Chad Kelly. You blew it at Clemson.
You talk about second chances?
92 chances.
Oh, my goodness.
Blew it at Clemson, and he to this day will tell you, I was better than Deshaun Watson. I was better. He will get adamant about it. He will. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be Missouri there. Show me.
Almost blew it before it got started at Ole Miss, and then had a celebrated incident on an open date. Other than that, at Ole Miss, there was no trouble. There was really not any trouble.
But then came Denver.
And now an opportunity with only Jacoby Brissett standing in your way.
It's there for him.
Silver Tour Championship format. It worked mostly. I liked it. It did set up Brooks and Rory for us. And now I think we're headed to round 3.
It's funny that you say it in a roundabout way did, but it really was set up for Justin Thomas.
It was.
Who
they stumbled into getting it right. But it is set up for a great possible round 3 of those two next spring at Augusta National. Round 1 was in Memphis, round 2 in Atlanta. Here's for round 3 at Augusta National.
No.
Come April. You got Tiger in there?
Tiger. Come on.
My gold medal, hometown, Memphis Redbirds. They completed season number 20 at AutoZone Park with a 10-1 homestand, 6 straight, 14 of 16.
How about that?
And not eliminated just yet. I didn't go to many games this year. I only went to probably the fewest I've ever been to. I went to 17 or so games, but season number 20 in the books, and also a gold medal to the parent club of the Memphis Redbirds. Your first place, St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh,
and a magic number of 31.
I'm amazed. I thought for sure it would have come quicker, that gloating.
First place, Dave. Check your little screen.
2.5 games back. Cubs are
3 in the all-important loss column.
That gets me to my rust, the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, you're turning on your team, huh? That's what happens first, isn't it?
I'm just being very factual about it. Here you are. You're set up. You're unbeatable at home.
Broom out at Wrigley.
And you get swept.
By a great team.
By a very good team.
By a team with that pitching staff.
By a very good team.
Come October can make trouble for a lot of people.
Cubs are done. You know when I think
Cubs are done?
Cubs.
You just waved the white flag. You raised the L.
I'm gonna hate to say this, but I had the feeling, a sickening feeling, in the pit of my stomach, when they blew the 5-0 lead and 5-1 in the 9th to the Philadelphia Phillies on the road. I thought there's something wrong with this team, and it's not Joe Madden.
A buddy of mine that never, ever, ever watches baseball this summer has gotten into baseball simply to gamble on it and bet on the Cubs that night they blew that game.
Well, that to me, that I had a bad, ominous feeling, and now I see it. That there is something missing. If you look at that lineup, even the starters, and I love Joe Madden, and I don't think he should.
Joe to shake it up.
I don't think he should go. I really don't. But I don't know what the answer is. But I think
Theo's not going.
I think the Cubs are done.
Well, who goes then? Theo's
it would
not
have
going.
to be Joe. I don't.
Joe must go.
No. I'd keep him, and I'd say, okay, something's wrong this year, and figure it out over the winter.
Seriously, Dave, did you literally just wave the white flag on the year?
No.
You're conceding it?
I'm not conceding it, but
Can we cancel the rest of the year?
I really don't think they're going to win it. They may not make the playoffs. They may not be a wild card team. They're in trouble.
You Dave, my rust goes to, you mentioned Doug Gottlieb and several others. It was more than that, but the people criticizing Andrew Luck, it's almost
the Cole fans that booed him.
The criticism of him is almost as bad as some of the overreaction in the media saying yesterday morning the SportsCenter crew on ESPN, look, I know you gotta kind of, it bleeds, it leads, you got to kind of sell drama to hook the viewer in, but talking about it being the most stunning retirement story in the history of sports.
No.
Have they not heard of Magic Johnson retiring because he was HIV positive?
Right.
Have they not heard of Patrick Willis, of
Barry Sanders?
Jim Brown never hurt. 29 years old, retired to go film The Dirty Dozen.
Right. in total prime. So was Barry Sanders.
So Barry Sanders right there?
To me, Barry Sanders, because
Calvin Johnson?
I
think every player we just mentioned better than Andrew Luck. I'm pretty sure Magic Johnson was.
Andrew
Can
Luck
we
was
agree
pretty,
on that?
Andrew Luck was pretty good. You know,
He
he was
was.
comeback player of the year last year.
He was, and he just didn't want to be comeback player of the year again. That's his business.
That the over-under on wins went from, I want to say it was like 9.5 or 10 to 6.5.
Yeah, it plummeted. And that division's there for the taking. That's there for the taking for the Titans now.
It
and
is.
for my summertime darling, my Jags.
Your Jags. I love it.
And my Bears. I got a lot of my teams, don't I?
And those are all of our precious medals, good or bad.
It was almost worth Dave winning the golf contest for a Cardinal gold medal and the white flag raised today. I win.
I wouldn't say it was fully worth it, but kind of.
Only you with twisted rationale would make that comment. We take the break. I'll let you know this portion of our show is brought to you by Trinity Professional Cleaners. When it's time to clean up, fall cleanup, you want that because then you're good until spring. Oh, if you get Trinity, you're good for 2 seasons. You see the cleanliness here, more importantly, is the fact that you feel the cleanliness. You feel it, you know it's clean. And they do that. They started in construction. They kept getting bigger, and they added people, and they started doing churches and schools. They still do all of that, but they'll do your home as well. Go to TrinityProfessionalServices.com, see the number, and give Todd Pope a call. And Todd will come out and he'll give you a quote. This is on windows, inside and out, where they've developed their own chemicals, their own tools. Nobody cleans windows like Trinity. Same with carpets. I've mentioned this before. I was going to get new carpets, and Todd said, you don't need to. Let me clean them. And sure enough, they were like brand new. That's how good they were. Baseboards and floors and ceiling fans. You know that film above? They get all of that. Trinity Professional Services is the way to go. If you're ready to get cleaned up for the summer or the fall, Trinity Professional Services. We are back in just a minute. John Thompson on college football. We'll get his take on some of these picks in just 1 minute as you listen to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
The Vargas family, legendary Memphis restaurateur, starting with Mr. Charlie and continuing today with his grandchildren.
Brett, it just dawned on me the other day that while Memphis is celebrating its bicentennial, the Rendezvous has been here well over 1/3 of Memphis's existence. Someone asked me if we remember the day the Rendezvous started, and I tell them no, because if we thought it was going to last this long, we'd have kept much better records. But we're not a place to rest on our laurels or reputation. We're always trying to add new things to make our customers' experience more enjoyable. Friday lunches have always been special because we give away our red beans and rice. But we are now adding a sausage sandwich. It's the same sausage we serve on our cheese and sausage plate, but it will be served lengthwise on the bun with beans and slaw on the side. We've also partnered with a company called Devillet out of Dyersburg to introduce a new sweet glazed mustard with Rendezvous seasoning in it. It will really go great with a sandwich. I still recommend adding slaw. My grandfather had a hot dog stand on Beale Street in 1916, and we've come full circle using his slaw on our hot dogs. Hope to see you this Friday at the Rendezvous.
In the alley in downtown Memphis.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Your Memphis Tigers football team opens the 2019 season against regional rival Ole Miss Saturday, August 31st. And tickets are on sale now, starting at $55 each. Get your tickets today by visiting GoTigersGo.com or by calling 901-678-2331. Or Tiger fans can still grab a 3-game package or a season ticket. College football is finally back. Memphis versus Ole Miss, Saturday, August 31st at 11 a.m. at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. Sponsored by FedEx and ABC Local 24.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park. Top Tracer gathers data such as distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Compete against friends in a points game, long drive, and virtual golf at courses such as Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. Golf and Games Family Park is a great setting for group and company outings, golf lessons, or individual practice. Experience fun, friends, family, and introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue.
Looking good and feeling good? You've been to Rooster's Men's Grooming, the all-American classic barbershop. Whether boy or man, Sportster or professional, when service matters, Rooster's is the choice for all gentlemen. Rooster's Men's Grooming offers a full-service shave, precision haircuts, and more, all with top-of-the-line products and a truly professional atmosphere. They even remember your name and offer you a beer. When looking good and feeling good matters, relax and unwind at Rooster's Men's Grooming, Paragon Place, 6300 Poplar.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
College football is here. You could tell by the Florida win over Miami in a game full of errors, 24-20. But by the way, Brett, and you know this is on the up, and I picked Florida.
I try. Dave,
I'm 1-0 on the year.
I know you very well. You're not going to cheat.
No. Although,
but
if you
out of bounds,
if you listen
is
to my
out of bounds.
guy Drew here, I don't know. He doesn't necessarily think that.
You're competitive, but you're not going to lie.
No, of course not. Yeah, I thought they'd win that game. I thought it would be a little more decisive than that.
I thought it was going to be about like it was and like it looked, and it was pretty sloppy.
Let's ask a coach, because we got a lot of first games coming up. Was that game with Florida and Miami sloppier than you expected, or did you think because it's a first game, John Thompson, that's sort of the way it goes?
Yes and yes.
Ooh.
I do. I think it was. It was very messy. Very messy. I mean, the penalties, the pass interference on 4th and 34. Come on. That was, but, we say this every year, first games, and I think it's going to be, it's going to be the same thing coming up this week.
Well,
whether you call it week 0 or week 1.
Well, that
it's
that
the
makes
same
me.
thing. You get the same number of practices.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you think about this, then the Ole Miss Memphis game should be a calamity of errors because both teams have brand new coordinators, right?
Yep.
Ole Miss has a new quarterback, although he played in 4 games last year. But so if you've got 2 new coordinators on both sides, all these new systems, Memphis has a whole different defensive scheme. And so does Ole Miss, for that matter. Boy, there should be a whole bunch of errors and busts and big plays.
No doubt. And we say this also every year, and it gets worse and worse because coaches are so concerned about getting anybody hurt. So much of the spread offense, the 7-on-7, The physicality is going down in football. All the worriedness and nervousness and legitimate. I'm not complaining, not saying that about the concussions and if your helmet is the right deal, but it's really ugly football early in the year, and coaches have got to find a way to become better tacklers, and they got to find a way to play. You know, it is a physical game, and that's what makes it different than any other thing. Keep it safe and keep it getting safer, all of that. I'm not
for sure
standing on that box and saying it's old school 1960, but when you don't practice hard and you don't practice physical and you don't practice tackling, it shows up before a national audience on Saturday.
Johnny, I don't think it's 1960. I think it's not old school 2010 when you're snatchy and grabby in practice with just thump with the thud and not to the ground and for all legitimate reasons, the depth issue, the injury issue. I mean, you don't want to lose anybody out there in August. You don't lose them anytime, but you'd rather them be in game action, but you don't want anybody hurt. Nobody ever has. Nobody ever will. But when you don't practice tackling, how can you tackle when the lights come on?
I agree 100%. There's got to be, you've got to be very innovative. You've got to put them in quick, tight situations where you eliminate, people falling on each other and getting leg whipped and getting tangled up. But you have got. I can remember going to Georgia in 1982 and watching a live tackling drill, and Herschel Walker was 25 yards away from DB. And they were trying to tackle him and tackled him a couple of times. Nobody got hurt.
Get you some of that.
It is that.
Wait. You're telling me Herschel Walker got a 25-yard advantage, and they had to bring him down?
Train wreck.
Absolutely.
And no one got hurt?
You stand on the hash, and you come down, and it was an open field tackle, and Herschel was the ball carrier. All the backs at Georgia, it was a spring practice at Georgia. And you know what? It kind of blew our mind a little bit that Herschel was doing it, but it was. I mean, we still did the same tackle drill last year when I was coaching high school. You got to do that sometimes, but head coaches cringe, offensive coordinators cringe. If you hit the receivers out in the field, everybody, they turn and it turns in, to everybody gets mad at you. You have got to learn to tackle in the open field. And I'm not saying you got to go down and twist a guy's legs off or be gang tackling, but you've got to learn to move your feet, wrap up. The defensive back on one of the scores from Miami runs in there and throws his shoulder at the guy, and the guy goes 60-something yards. Yeah. Give me a break. I wanted to throw up watching that. But you see it over and over. I mean, the tackling was, besides giving up 10 sacks that Miami did, but the tackling on both sides was about as poorly executed situation as I've seen in a long, long time. And that just comes from a lot of that. And it's going to show up until they get game speed and get used to actually getting people on the ground.
So I really am curious about this because I understand why practices are no longer as physical as they used to be. And for one thing, games are different now because of the pace of play and the tempo that everybody's got going now.
Yeah, we've never played faster for the games to never take more time to play.
Well, and they're bigger and they're stronger guys. And we play 12 games now. It seems to me that this is smarter, but you're saying the game is suffering. Is there any kind of compromise? What would you really like to see?
Preseason games, some type of preseason game.
A jamboree?
Every sport in the history of the world has a preseason, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm saying colleges could get by with one preseason game, do it for charity, do it for a good cause, do it semi-locally, let the coaches come to agreement on that. But one of the reasons you gave up 10 sacks the other day, the quarterback's not used to having anybody hit him. He's used to standing back there and maybe having a whistle or a horn go off, or some defensive guy screaming at him, "Oh, well, you held it too long." Those guys have got to feel the heat. You got to put them in situations. It'll make the game better. It'll be just like high schools are able to video and show the video to players on the sideline during the game.
All right, John.
Come out from a series, and they say it'll make the game better. Preseason games make the game better.
We want to get to Tigers, Rebels in a second, but you went to out Georgia spring practice in '82, fall of '82. I know where you were. You were GAing for Coach Lou Holtz at Fayetteville.
That's right. Well, I was with that staff then.
Yeah.
I was with them then.
And y'all were running kind of the same deal because Jesse Clark caught my buddy Mike Harris under the chin. 16 stitches later, Mike Harris was eating Jell-O and soup for about 2 weeks.
Yep, that's exactly right. And don't get me wrong. That's the nature of the game.
That's what we did. So
I got a scar. I've got a scar on my chin, and I've got a sore ear since the spring of 1974. And I tried to tackle a guy named Mike Dunaway, who was a long drive champion
and a good kicker.
Step in there and tried to tackle the guy. And showing off for the band was on the other field. I was trying to show
Mike
off
was a good kicker too, wasn't he? Good place kicker.
He was a place kicker, but big time guy. I mean, that's the game. That's the game. You don't want anybody to get hurt ever.
All right, the 3-4 Ole Miss is going to try to run, and the Tigers.
They're going from a 3-4 to a 4-3.
So one's going the other way, one's going the right way. If you were a defensive coordinator today, what kind of defense would you run? What do you think we'll see Saturday defensively at the Liberty Bowl?
Now, I think you'll see a little. For me, I'd do a little bit of both. I think either one. If you let an offense know if you're going to be in 4 down, it's easy to block. If they know you're in 3 down, which is 3-4, it's easy to block. You mix them up. I think it's a lot harder to be able to do that. I worry about the depth at all that Mike McIntyre is going to have. I think having the 3-4 allows you to bring more pressure because the designated rusher, you don't know that pre-snap.
Mm-hmm.
If they disguise it good, you don't know which side the guy's coming off of or bringing wherever that 4th rusher is, and you can still maximize your coverage. But Ole Miss is young. It's an entirely different situation there with Mike coming in. Tyrone Nix being back there, that'll help the physicality of him. Tyrone will coach tough, but that's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. I think it's going to be a big game, and I think it'll be a big one for the Memphis Tigers.
High scoring? What kind of game in the 30s?
You know what? That may be to Memphis's detriment because they can't hold on to a large lead. They got to be able to do that. Hold on to the lead, but I think the game gets in the 30s. I think the point deal on it's in the high 60s right now. I think both teams may even get into the 30s. But I think this is going to be a big notch in Mike Norvell's belt. I think the continuity there, even though he's got a lot of new staff guys, that's not as much as you bringing in a couple of head coaches.
Well, and
it'll be.
And I'll say
take it.
The new defensive coordinator Adam Fuller has more depth than I've ever seen on a Memphis football team.
Well, that's going to be critical in this game. Using it correctly and getting the right guys in at the right spot. It's going to be critical.
Now, Memphis did lose, and it was announced today that Chris Claybrooks is a guy who probably would have been the starter at corner, is out for this game, and a guy named Joey Bryant, who actually played for Mike's teams at Arizona State, is going to step in and be the starter. I think, obviously, it's critical here. We know that Rich Rod is famous for spreading it out.
6 seconds he wants to get a play in by, John.
And also, he's going to run the football like crazy.
It's hurry up. It's no huddle, but I don't think after he gets the play in, it is quite as hurry up as some. John?
No, I agree with that. It can be because you're looking for bubbles in the running game. You're looking for bubbles in the front. That's where it is most of the time. And now he's taken this. Let's just see how far he's taken it the last couple of years where his RPO game has gone. And can Corral handle that? Or Corral, be able to do that? I think he'll be able to. But I like what Brady White's got going for him. You know, that losing a corner is going to be a factor for Memphis because they'll go away from Clark. I think they'll find out which side he's on and go away, and especially go to the new guy. Now, if there's another on, but Memphis is balanced. I think they can run the football well. We'll just see. You know, I know that Rich Rod will try to get it done with Scotty Phillips, but we'll just see. I'm hanging my hat right now. I'm liking the Tigers.
Okay.
I know you don't like that, Brett, but I'm liking the Tigers.
That's what we want is analysis from you, man.
Right.
You know, Johnny, sometimes it's like praying. Sometimes he says yes, sometimes he says no.
That's exactly right.
Well, but
it just looks like it's so much, just the way they're going, and it is. And the other big game, and I can't wait to watch Auburn and Oregon.
Oh,
Who knows
too.
what that one's going to be like? That's going to be a fun game to watch with Bo Nix and Justin Herbert. We'll see that one too.
I'll say this. You know, in doing all this prep for these picks and everything else, if there is the dark horse pick in the Pac-12 this year, because everybody's got Washington and some people have Utah, but man, Oregon is the next team.
I agree.
And so this is really a showdown.
Why did FIU fire Mario Cristobal?
Well, there was only like 12 people in the stands.
Okay.
So the game, we played there a long time ago, and there wasn't a lot of people there. I'm not sure about that either, Brett. I mean, what's good about this game coming in, you're really going to see, you know, some SEC mentality there with Mario in Oregon. And he's got a really, really good offensive line against maybe the best defensive line in the SEC.
He's got that Bama blood in him. He's got that Bama building in him.
No question. And then, you know, every 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, whatever comes out there, you know, is supposed to be or have it at quarterback. Let's see if Bo Nix has it. He's a smart guy. He can do something. I think the critical thing in that game, when you really look at it, when you do your research, like I know you have, Dave, look at the kicking game. Auburn's kicking game, they are stout. Punter, defense, kicking game, that will be the underlying toe. Now, the other thing, Gus calling the plays, Gus has been predictable in his previous days. Let's see if he's that way again. And Mario's played against him and knows him.
Maybe Kenny Dillingham has some influence. I know Gus is going to make the calls, but Kenny's a really bright guy. It'll be interesting to see if there's any effect that way. As always, my friend, we appreciate it, and we'll have some results to talk about for sure next Monday.
You guys fired me up. I've just been taking it easy all day. Talk to you guys, I get fired up.
You got me fired up.
I'm fired up, too. I can't wait to
Now, we're here next Monday. We're not taking any holiday off. We're talking football next Monday.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's not a real holiday.
That's the attitude. I love it, John.
Care, guys.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. That is our man in Atlanta, our coach, John Thompson. This portion of the show is brought to you by somebody. Oh, I know. It's by our title sponsor. That's brought to you by the good folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. I'm driving around this weekend. It's such a marvel of technology, my Santa Fe. It really is. I mean, I'm safe. I can't bump in anything. Now, when I turn on my blinker, right, I'm going to make a right-hand turn. I push the thing up. Do you know that I have a screen on my dashboard now that shows me the right-hand side with a camera? The right-hand side of the whole car. Like, you don't even, you got the mirror, but you don't need the mirror. It's incredible. And it won't let me bump in anything. This is why you get assurance. 10-year, 100,000-mile, limited powertrain warranty on every new car that's on the lot at Homer Skelton Hyundai. And that includes Genesis. And that G70, that is worth taking a look at. It's like a James Bond car, I call it. I think the Genesis cars are the best-made luxury cars now that you'll find on any street anywhere. I'm serious. Go find out for yourself. Go take a test drive. Go down there and tell them we sent you. You'll love it. It's easy. You just get on Lamar, first exit Mississippi. That's Craft Road. Turn left. You'll see Chris True and all the gang. Ask about Shopper Assurance, full of assurance. It's the best marriage of business, service, and technology. That's what Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch is all about. Back in a minute, we'll put a wrap on hour number 2 of this, the Monday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Get happy with Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Weekday afternoons from 1 till 3 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof, hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. That's why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sports 56 invites you to a live broadcast Tuesday, August 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Spirit Shop. You know, the liquor and wine oasis. Eddie has invited Old Dominic for another bourbon tasting that will go on till 7 p.m. Don't miss out on winning 4 rounds of golf at Wedgwood Golf Course, $50 gift card at the Butcher Shop, and more door prizes. Join Sports 56 live at the Spirit Shop Tuesday, August 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. with Wolo and Stats and the bourbon tasting from 3 to 7 p.m. The Spirit Shop, corner of Poplar and St. Nick. Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshyn and Brad Norsworthy.
Strapped against my back. Welcome back in. Something's got to give on Saturday. We've already sort of been through this. The Ole Miss record in August is a perfect 8-0. The Tigers' record on 11 o'clock games is 9-0. Let me give you one more little number. 20
from a little pregame show.
21 home games. Yeah.
Can I use it?
Yours is a big show. It's not a little show.
Can I give you credit?
Oh, absolutely.
You'll just be a wall between me.
I know. 21 home games in the Mike Norvell era as it begins year number 4. His record at the Liberty Bowl, 18-3.
And the 3 losses are the mighty fine teams.
You if you look at in his losses, how close every one of them is. Championship games, everything.
Have you looked around at other American games?
Except for the first UCF game at their ballpark.
Mm-hmm. At Raymond James?
At no. At
UCF.
UCF, yeah. That there was one
They got away.
Big one.
Yeah. If you looked at other AAC games, I really like the Thursday night game. Cincinnati, Luke Fickell at home against Chip Kelly and UCLA.
Yeah.
They beat them last year out there. Cincinnati beat UCLA out there last year.
Cincinnati, I believe, is the favorite in the game.
Can we call this kind of the Mick Cronin Bowl?
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's gone. But does that not seem weird that Mick Cronin is not a part of the Cincinnati deal? You realize
I think it's bad for the league.
I think it is too.
I think he will crush it out there.
I think it's bad for Cincinnati. I'll tell you why. You know, his dad was a high school coaching legend in the city of Cincinnati.
He'd have been Terry Tippett, Ted Anderson of the city.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
and Mick
Dorsey Sims
came up through that, and
Jerry Peters.
Yeah, Jerry Peters might be right on, spot on that. I hated losing him because he was really a heck of a coach.
Birdies would be way up there. There's so many. That's when you start calling names, man. You're going to get in trouble.
No, I know. We get 2 hours in the books. When we come back, we head to Birmingham, Alabama. Pat Smith from Jocks will be with us.
They're talking Bo Nix.
Are they?
They're talking Auburn and Oregon.
I'm sure they are. They're
talking Senator Tommy Tuberville.
No way.
The gentleman from Alabama.
That's actually my first question to him. Is can Tommy Tuberville really win that? We'll find out in a minute. He's next. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. A reminder, by the way, tomorrow we will be at the Spirit Shop. That is Poplar in St. Nick. We're going to tell you, please come on by.
2 tickets to give away?
Come and say hello. We got at least 2 tickets to Memphis Ole Miss. We'll give away at the end of the show. There will be a bourbon tasting that's going on. All kinds of opportunities for you just to look around the shop, meet the Connor family, and honestly, see what this place is all about because it's really cool. You like spirits, you're going to love this place, and we can't wait to be there again. We were just there a couple weeks ago. So much fun. We said, what the heck, let's go back. We'll be at the Spirit Shop tomorrow. That'll be again from 3 until 6. Hour number 3 of this program in just a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
It was great bumping into you the other day. I never see you outside of this place.
When did we bump into each other?
Saturday. We talked for like 5 minutes.
That was you?
My point is we should hang out more.
Let me guess.
At Central Barbecue. We could make it a regular thing.
I love Central Barbecue, and I go there a lot, but, I'm pretty busy.
We could be Central Barbecue buddies.
I got the morning show and lots of other radio things going on all the time.
People would see us, and they'd say, hey, there's those Central Barbecue buddies.
All right, I got kids.
Bring them along. We'll be a Central Barbecue crew.
I'm leaving the country.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like 2 engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And QX50 MSRP starts at only $36,550, which is less than its Acura, Audi, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
MSRP excludes destination charge, tax, title, license, and options. Infinity of Memphis or online at infinityofmemphis.com.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, Excellence in Office Solutions.
Duncan Williams Investment Bankers presents Toby Keith at Live at the Garden this Saturday, August 31st at the beautiful Memphis Botanic Garden.
How do you like me now?
One night, Toby Keith, all the hits.
That was 1,452 beers ago.
With opening act High Valley. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, visit liveatthegarden.com. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 8:30. Also presented by FedEx, True Green, Infinity of Memphis, Regions Bank, Radiance, Pro Show, Mahaffey Tent, and PDR. That's Toby Keith at Live at the Garden this Saturday, August 31st at the Botanic Garden.
You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Loneliness is the #1 physical killer in America today. That's what Dr. James Lynch, medical researcher at Johns Hopkins, contends in his book, The Broken Heart. Dr. Lynch says that those who live alone, single, widowed, divorced, have premature death rates from 2 to 10 times higher than individuals who live with others. Living alone, he says, does not necessarily produce loneliness, but the two are often related. Among divorced people, suicide is 5 times higher. People who live alone visit physicians more frequently than do married people, and they stay in hospitals twice as long for identical illnesses. What does all this mean? People literally are dying of broken hearts. What lonely person do you know for whom you may be the preventative medicine of hope and life? I'm Shane Stanford with Christ Church Memphis. You matter.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org.
Hey Tiger fans, this is John Stacy of the Blue and Gray Show. You can hear Drew Barrett and I talk Tigers with Tigers every Sunday at 5 right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Drew, who do we got in the studio with us this week?
This week we will recap the Ole Miss game and get you ready for Southern University. In studio with us will be Andre Woods, and of course we'll have some surprise special guests.
Thanks, Drew. We'll be here Sunday on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. The Blue and Gray Show, where we talk Tigers with Tigers.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Joining us momentarily from the football capital of the South down in Birmingham from WJOX, Pat Smith. We'll talk all things Auburn and Bo Nix and Oregon, all things Bama and David Cutcliffe and Duke. After I tell you about DeSoto Auto Sales, they bring you this hour, their title sponsor this hour, DeSoto Auto Sales. They specialize in late model cars with low mileage. They have very high standards. All the cars test driven, checked out head to toe, unlimited inventory at DeSoto Auto Sales, every make, every model. And if they don't have it, they'll go out and find it for you. 5704 Goodman Road. Visit them online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. They'll treat you like family, kind, courteous employees, down-home environment, laid-back atmosphere, no high-pressure sales, and they'll make you this guarantee. You will have the ultimate car experience, and you will be in and out in about 45 minutes. That's the guarantee because they know we're living in a world today that time matters. They know that, and they want you to get your car, get the credit approved, finish the paperwork, and gone in about 45 minutes. Serving DeSoto County and the surrounding area at DeSoto Auto Sales. Online, DeSotoAutoSales.com, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales for that town and country experience on Goodman Road. From Jocks in Birmingham, Pat Smith joins us now. Pat, it is game week. Now, go easy on Dave. He's a big Cub fan, and I've already rubbed it in with the magic number being 31, and he waved the white flag today, said it's over for his Cubbies.
Oh, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. A lot of baseball. What are we playing, like
7 or 10 times the last 2 weeks of the season?
Seven times.
The Cubs have 7 with you and 7 with the Brewers, so it's probably not over. But the way things are going, it is
white flag
not
out. White flag
a
out.
good, pretty
Pat,
picture.
in the middle of this Cub dynasty.
I got a question for you, Pat. Is Tommy Tuberville, does he have any chance of winning his election?
Every time, Pat, I'm going to interrupt you. Every time that question comes up, I go to the closing scene of Animal House, and they run the credits, Senator and Mrs. Blutarski. It reminds me of this.
Can't happen. Pat, you there?
Yes, we're right here.
Can Tommy Tuberville actually win?
Well, the last time I was on with you guys, I shocked y'all when I told you that, I gave him a really good shot at winning. And I know both of you guys were shocked. And then when I saw Brett at SEC Media Days, I think Brett had seen the same poll. He is polling extremely well here in regards to the fact that he very well could win the Republican nomination. Now, whether he's going to win against Doug Jones, the sitting senator, we'll have to wait and see. But Tommy Tuberville's got a really great shot, guys, at winning this thing.
Here's the rub. Would Alabama fans, and that one for the thumb that he had in the 6 straight wins over Bama, would a good self-respecting Alabama fan vote for Tommy Tuberville?
Well, you guys know how politics are, especially in the Deep South, and with the current environment we have across the country, nothing would surprise me in the least.
I'm with him
I
there.
think
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So with that being said, Brett, I think Alabama or Auburn fans, as long as they have a chicken in the pot and money in their bank account, no telling what area they're going to go.
All right, we know what's more important. More important is Bo Nix at quarterback from Pinson Valley. Back-to-back state champs, is that right?
That is absolutely correct. Matter of fact, on Friday nights, I call a high school, the largest classification in the state of Alabama is 7A, in Pinson Valley that Bo Nix played on last 2 years. They're 6A, and the team I broadcast for, we played them Friday night, and we gave them only their second loss in the last 2 seasons. So
they're missing
Patrick
Bo.
Nix is now, yeah. So Patrick Nix is now 28-2 as a head football coach at Pinson Valley, and Bo's little brother Caleb Nix is a sophomore quarterback on that team.
Wow!
And actually, Bo was at the game the other night watching his little brother and watching his dad. And this guy was incredible in high school, and he has been able to go down to the Plains, and he has been able to take what he did in high school, and it has translated very well to what Malzahn wants to do with this offense. And he beat out Joey Gatewood. And, of course, we'll have to wait and see what Gatewood's future is going to be in the transfer portal, around the 4th game of the season to see if he gets any action at all. But Bo has really stepped up and been quite a leader in the fall camp, guys.
All right, y'all ready to make a lot of money and all of us retire to Tahiti and not have to do anything ever again? You ready? Ready, Pat? You ready, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Drew, you want in on it?
Definitely.
All right. Pretty famous Bo at Auburn that precedes young Mr. Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Let's come up with the T-shirts and the patent right now. Bo knows Bo.
That's good.
That is good.
That's good. That's real good.
So can they beat Oregon? Here is, most people have Washington.
It'd hurt T-shirt sales if he can't.
And Utah. And this guy's going to step in right off the bat. Now, this is not going to be the most potent defense he's going to see all year. But
he may see that in practice.
He does. He sees that big defensive line. How good are they? And what happens to Gus if this thing goes south in Arlington?
Well, a lot of people believe right now that this football team, maybe high end, can win 8 ball games. That is, if certain things go their way. If they lose to Oregon, I'm not saying that the folks are going to start talking about buyouts and things of that nature, but this is one of these games that would really be a barometer of what you can do potentially down the road, especially with what they have in the conference, obviously playing Georgia across from the East, and then going through the gauntlet that is the SEC West of Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama. So I'm not saying that the season will be over with if they lose this, but this definitely would be something that Auburn fans that are quickly to point out that, Gus's record the last couple of years has not lived up to what they expect will give them plenty of ammunition to try to go ahead and get that talk going, of perhaps trying to get enough money to get that buyout going.
We just had this conversation about how sometimes Gus in the past has become sort of predictable. A guy can look enough and sort of figure out what he might be running. You guys got Kenny Dillingham, or Auburn got Kenny Dillingham, away from Memphis and the Mike Norvell system in the offseason. I know Gus calls the plays. How much influence do you think Kenny Dillingham has on Gus Malzahn, and will that help in reducing predictability?
Where I think Dillingham comes in is going to be in that quarterback room and trying to work with those guys. Do I think what kind of influence he's going to have on Gus Malzahn? I think the answer is zero. I think you look back at his offensive coordinators, and Gus said in the offseason, I mean, he's going to get back to doing what he does best. And in Gus Malzahn's eyes, that is him calling plays. And if this ship is going to go down at some point, coaches are hired to be fired. Whatever that happens, whether it's this year or 5 years down the road, I think Gus is going to go out on his terms. His terms meaning I'm going to call the plays. If this offense does not work, there's no more scapegoat. It is on me. And then at that point in time, they can pay me this ridiculous $40+ million buyout, and I'll be on my way back to Arkansas coaching high school football or whatever else he wants to do with the rest of his life. But I think Dillingham, just like Lindsey, didn't have a lot of input, just like all the other guys before Dillingham. This is a situation where Gus Malzahn is going to live and die by his own play calls.
And I really don't blame him. Look, he's the one in the breach. He's the one in the big office. He's the one that would have the tearful or sad, mournful going away press conference when he's out of a job. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down calling the shots. We're visiting with Pat Smith from Jocks in Birmingham. And this is the first of what I call for him almost the referendum games. You look up and 3 weeks later, September 21st, even if he wins, even if he loses against Oregon, another referendum game when he goes to College Station and plays A&M.
No, there's no question. But, guys, I will tell you, and Brett, you kind of referenced this at the beginning of the interview, there is no question, there is no doubt. Do not be confused at all. This Auburn defense could potentially be one of the best in the country. It's going to be one of the best in the SEC. But what they have on that defensive line, the secondary play with Noah Igbinoghene at the corner, the experience that they have at certain positions. I mean, Kevin Steele, he is going to be licking his chops each and every Saturday. That defense will be able to keep them in any football game that they play this year. And if the offense can come around, that's where some of these barometer games, Brett, that you're referring to, that's where many Auburn fans believe with that defense, and Bo Nix comes around and get a little bit of a running game going, this Auburn team could be the team in the SEC West that causes Alabama some problems.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Compare Auburn's defense, and they may be bigger up front, believe it or not, from everything I read. Compare that with Alabama's.
Well, Alabama's got a pretty big hole to fill with Quinnen Williams being gone, but I will tell you, DJ Dale, he got hurt early in the fall camp. He is a guy that is a freshman. Matter of fact, the depth chart came out today in Tuscaloosa, and there are 4 freshmen on the depth chart. And that just talks about these 5 stars that they keep reloading in Tuscaloosa. But DJ Dale's a name that you need to keep your eye on because a lot of people didn't hear of Quinnen Williams last year, and then he came on the forefront. DJ Dale's that guy that could be the supreme superstar, the young guy that's going to step up on this defensive line. But if you're asking me to compare that defensive line with the Auburn defensive line, I don't think there's any doubt the Auburn defensive line has got more experience, and they're going to get more headlines. I think it's going to take a little time for Pete Golden's defense to get to where Kevin Steele's defense is, but you've got to love what Alabama brings in the secondary. That is going to be one of their mainstays. That's going to be those shutdown corners. You got Sartain in the defensive backfield. So many weapons that you have on the defense side of the ball in the secondary.
In that football crazed state on Saturday, the bigger game of the two is it's Auburn and Oregon. Alabama with the Atlanta opener against Duke. What are the Bama fans that they've been to all these big wins and all these big games? Is Saturday a ho-hum start for them, or are they excited?
Well, I mean, they're excited because, it's here. Being able to watch Miami and Florida the other night and even staying up late watching Hawaii just, destroy Kevin Sumlin's career. everybody is fired up for football, and we're excited about what we're going to see. But for an Alabama fan, they've taken so many hits by this schedule this season. And again, this schedule was done years ago, but you're not getting a lot of folks talking about, I'm going to go spend the Labor Day weekend over in Atlanta, to be able to watch Alabama and Duke. I think it's going to be a huge contingency of Alabama fans, but I'm not sure if it's going to set any attendance records for this kickoff classic. But, for most Alabama fans, they're glad that the season's here. They have been so banged up, guys, in this fall camp. This is, I've been covering this football team. This is my 26th year, covering Alabama and Auburn football. And I'm just telling you that I don't know if I remember a camp that has been this physical and so many guys going down with injuries. The linebacker situation continues to be an area where they have problems. They lost Joshua McMillan, a guy that was going to be, one of their mainstays at that position. On offense, Trey Sanders, a 5-star running back who proclaimed on National Signing Day, I'm going to win the Heisman as a true freshman. He breaks his foot. He's out for the season. So whether you're an Alabama, Ohio State, or a Clemson, when you start having a lot of these guys go down to injuries, you're hoping that the Nick Savage will step up and be able to do what they've been able to do over the last 4 or 5 years. But at some time, Brad, as you know, history will tell you that it's very difficult at times to be able to just plug guys in without that experience.
You mentioned the crowd may not be a blockbuster in Atlanta for the game with Duke. What about the Oregon game in Arlington? What kind of
question?
What kind of fanfare are they getting?
Well, the Auburn people that call in our radio station and the Auburn people that I talk to, they're extremely excited about the trip. A plane trip from Montgomery or Birmingham to Dallas is not that difficult for them. Listen, guys, I'll never forget covering when these two teams played in the national championship in Glendale, Arizona. And I was blown away because we were on the western side of the country, and I was thinking that the Pac-12 was going to show up in full force for this national championship game against Auburn. And it was easily 65 or 70-30 Auburn to Oregon. And I think Auburn fans are extremely excited about this contest. They know that this is going to be a really good test going up against Herbert and the rest of the Oregon faithful, and they think that if they can get a win there, that it's going to maybe springboard them into better things for the season. But meanwhile, if you're the Pac-12, if you lose this game to Auburn, you guys tell me, where's their next hope? Is it Utah? I mean, can Utah find a way to get into the college football playoff? That conference right now is a dumpster fire, and I think that's a bigger game for Oregon than it is Auburn.
I do think this, though. I'll go contrary on you. First of all, I think Washington is figured by most to be the favorite in the Pac-12, and then Utah really gets the nod as the number 2 team in that league. Forget USC, forget Chip Kelly and UCLA. The third team is Oregon. So if the league is not that good and they get bumped off here, even if it's soundly, they got a weak league. They can still build themselves back up.
Yeah, and Kirk Herbstreit picked Arizona State to win that division.
So I think they can recover, especially if Auburn does well the rest of the way.
That's a good point. I mean, I think Washington could be that sneaky good team. I think the Cinderella is Utah, as you mentioned. Yeah, when I heard Herbstreit, Brett, mention, Arizona State the other morning on game day, I almost fell out of my chair. Again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just think that conference is just, they are just needing something positive to happen to them. Last year they thought it was going to be Washington. This year I think a lot of people are putting those hopes on Oregon. And if they don't have a very good showing on Saturday against an Auburn team that obviously is not the upper tier, if you look at the nation, the rest of the country is not going to say that Auburn is an Alabama or Georgia. I mean, they're the next level down. So if Auburn is able to beat one of these so-called big dogs of the Pac-12, then everybody's going to doubt whether the Pac-12 can put themselves in a position to recover so that they would have a team in the college football playoff.
It is funny. Nobody's mentioning Mike Leach anymore, Washington State, all because they lost the Gardner kid, the transfer from East Carolina. Oh, man. Unreal.
Yeah.
Pat, as always, we appreciate it, and I know we'll talk to you a bunch as football season really gets going.
Guys, always a pleasure being on with y'all, and of course talking Cardinal baseball and the Cubs downfall anytime.
White flag raised.
Are you serious? Are you
raised
serious?
the white flag? Not better.
Have a great night, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Here's a different take. For the Alabama fan that through the years either couldn't get, maybe it was a little pricey for them, what about this for Saturday? I wonder how big a market do they have for this? The day trippers. All right, you live wherever you live, 2.5, 3 hour drive each way to Atlanta. The game's at 2:30 Central Time, so you get up and leave at 9 o'clock. You're in Atlanta at noon, get settled in, go to the game, go back home afterwards. I wonder if a lot of first-timers that haven't been able to be on the joy ride of all these wins and all these games will try to maximize that.
Kind of like all those Kentucky fans that used to go to Ole Miss.
Used to buy season tickets.
Yeah. Just so they could see their team.
First time I ever saw that, Eddie Sutton early in his years at Kentucky, and they took over Oxford. And a lot of the people said, this is the only game I go to all year.
It's the only one I can afford a ticket.
The only time I can get a ticket.
Seriously, I don't know. How expensive is the Duke-Alabama game?
Well, the secondary market, the get-in cost is plunging. I mean, it's
right.
I mean, literally, you can sit on the 50 for $40.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Get-in is very, very inexpensive.
This portion of the show brought to you by Miramichi. Okay, Miramichi is gorgeous, and I know firsthand. I played there yesterday. Waterfall was going.
What about your round?
The creek was flowing. I had a good day. It's one of my better days in a long, long time.
Just felt the
Greens
golf magic yesterday,
are perfect. Every once in a while, those things have a glass great act. No. The senior tour. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you two things. There's only two good things about getting older. One, and I think it's
a lot of candles on a birthday cake.
I actually think you're old enough for this already.
I am.
You can get a national parks card, one-time price. It's like $30, and forever, for the rest of your life, any national park, you go in and your car for free. That's the first thing. The second thing is you move up tee boxes. It's a miracle. When it's shorter, the game's easier. If I got a wedge in my hand instead of a 5-iron,
3-iron,
it's a lot easier. And the other thing I got to tell you is the hybrids. Oof. I don't know if hybrids were around when you played. They're easy. They make life wonderful. And my life at Miramichi yesterday was beautiful, but seriously, it is so pretty. And it is in great shape. They do this, and every Monday they're doing this now, so they're doing it today. 2 holes where they used to have some hard pan from compacted fairways that hadn't really been done at all. Not even after Justin Timberlake bought it. They've now really done a great job. It's starting to look lush. You're going to love it. And you're going to love that it's really a lot closer than you think. It's not in Millington. It's halfway between Memphis and Millington. Miramichi is the #1 public golf course in the state of Tennessee. It has been for years, and I'm testimony yesterday. It's really worth going to because it is a walk through nature. It's gorgeous. Please, go test yourself. Go to Miramichi.
I really hate to do this before we've played a game this year. Vegas odds on hottest seat for coaches. You ready? Number 1.
Well, we know that's Clay Helton.
Number 1's Clay Helton. Number 2, Chris Ash at Rutgers. Lovie Smith at Illinois. Gus.
Really? I thought the guy from New Mexico State. What is it, Bob Davey?
Gus Malzahn. As Houston Up would say, Gus Malzahn, 4th, 10-1.
Wow.
The coach at BYU, Kalani Satake, 12-1. Ed O at 14-1 with Justin Fuente at 14-1.
Wow. I'm really surprised. I've seen Matt Luke on those lists.
Matt Luke, 25-1. Mike Gundy, 16-1. Who does Oklahoma State think they would hire that would do the job over the next 20 years that Mike Gundy's done for them?
I don't know.
Do they think that's just out there for presto change-o?
Well, be careful what you ask for.
No kidding,
Didn't we
Dave.
say that 10 years ago? Years ago, Philip Fulmer, and you know Bob Kessling called the last 10 years a lost decade.
Yeah, 22-1, Chad Morris at Arkansas. Year 2.
22-1 Chad Morris in year 2. That's ridiculous.
Not hired by
Let me ask you this. If they did that after the second year, who'd want that job?
Gus Malzahn out at Auburn.
Would he?
He's only played him like a violin about 4 times and was one of the most destructive figures in the history of the program when he was offensive coordinator.
$40 million, he gets bought out, and then he's got a job waiting for him?
I don't think he will, but if Chad Morris went 0-8 2 years in a row, his first 2 years,
gosh,
would that be vindicated? Would that be justifiable?
If you go back to Bielema's last 2 years, what is that record?
That's what they're facing. I don't think he will.
But part of that is their own undoing with continuity. Maybe they didn't hire the right guy with Bielema, but you got to give this guy a chance. He's got to change systems. He came into an antiquated system that Bielema was running, and you're going to say to me, you got to use all these guys that were built by another guy who didn't do things the way you want to do them, but we're only going to give you 2 years?
Wouldn't be fair.
That would be ridiculous. And I would say, look, the money they can throw around, you're going to get somebody, but if you're really good, why would you do that? Why would you take that chance on that history?
You know what Jeff Long proved at Arkansas? Just how gigantic those shoes of Frank Broyles were.
They were big. They were really, really big. This portion of the show brought to you by the Matt Eflin Insurance Group. That's in Bartlett, but it's all over. He's got offices all over. This is a young guy who's already been in the business 20 years, and he really gets it. He really understands. He's got a one-on-one approach. First, he evaluates each individual's insurance needs. Then he looks at costs, and he works with you, and he makes sure you are protected in the best and most reasonable way. Please call this number, 757-2315, for personalized service. He'll give you quotes. He's a big supporter of the U of M, and he specializes in all kinds of insurance needs. Whether it's personal or business, he does that one-on-one approach. You will love the way Matt works. Matt Eflin Insurance Group, the number again, 757-2315. Back in a minute. We will head to New York City. Our friend Chuck Melkent is standing by. They're underway at the U.S. Open. We'll get his thoughts in just a second on Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
Hi, this is Troy 5 owner of 5 Roofing. If you're in need of a roof, there's no better place to start than 5 Roofing. No matter what your situation is, we have you covered. We can walk you through the insurance process without committing fraud like many of my competitors. You'd be surprised how many times salesmen and contractors will manufacture storm damage just so they can get a sale. We do residential, multifamily, and commercial work. We're certified in every form of roofing we offer. Our labor warranties are for the life of the shingle, and we don't charge extra for that. And to my knowledge, there's no other roofing company in Memphis offering that level of security. And if that's not enough, we offer a best price guarantee. We are the official roofer of the University of Memphis Athletic Department and a proud member of the Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Sports 56 invites you to a live broadcast Tuesday, August 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Spirit Shop. You know, the liquor and wine oasis. Eddie has invited Old Dominic for another bourbon tasting that will go on till 7 p.m. Don't miss out on winning 4 rounds of golf at Wedgwood Golf Course, $50 gift card at the Butcher Shop, and more door prizes. Join Sports 56 live at the Spirit Shop Tuesday, August 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. with Wolo and Stats and the bourbon tasting from 3 to 7 p.m. The Spirit Shop, corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
New Life Medical Center has moved to a new, larger location that allows them to better serve their patients. I go to New Life Medical Center for testosterone replacement therapy, which is one of many things they do. They also treat erectile dysfunction and can relieve the pain of joint injuries with stem cell and platelet-rich plasma treatments. They also take care of patients with diabetes, high blood pressure, sick visits, and much more with no appointment necessary and minimal wait times. New Life Medical Center is now at 9160 Highway 64. That's just off I-40. Stop in and see what they can do for you. When's the last time you had barbecue? When's the last time you had Baby Jack's barbecue and it was free? Here's your chance this Friday beginning at 11, Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Millington. Not only will there be free lunch, but you can see and test drive the new 2020 cars and trucks. And did I mention there'll be lots of food, beverages, and prizes? Plus, Greg and I will be broadcasting live beginning at 10. The good folks at Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Millington are doing it just for you. Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep is located right off Highway 385 at 7661 U.S. Highway 51 in Millington. See you there.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in as we cruise through our final hour on Memphis Ole Miss Week. I'm pumped. We make more predictions tomorrow. And I know this is going to just be fun. And it'll all climax on Friday when we pick Memphis and Ole Miss, right?
That's it.
Tomorrow, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia.
We'll get a proud University of Memphis grad pick here.
We will.
From
Chuck Melkamp?
Wooddale's very own Chuck Melkamp.
Well, we go to New York City to talk to Chuck. He is our analyst of the slams. The final slam of the year is taking place in New York City. And already we got one of the Williams sisters is in Venus, a winner today. Now Serena will take, in a matter of an hour or so, she will take center stage with Maria Sharapova. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, Chuck. How are you?
Hey, guys. It's doing good. Opening day here at Flushing Meadows. I'm on location right here outside of Ash Stadium, about to go in. Actually, it's now opening night in about 30 minutes here. And that Serena Sharapova match will be going on at 7 o'clock. A good first day of tennis.
Great first day.
And
magical
you're right.
setting.
Venus won today. And, hey, another American, Riley Opelka, knocked off the 11th seed today, and in the fourth setter. Great match. He's had a great summer. So American tennis, hoping to get back.
American tennis is terrible. This is unbelievable. If you look and you see the top 25 tennis players in the world as they're seated at a Flushing Meadow, there is only one American man in the top 25. That is 14th rated John Isner. After that, I think you got to go to 31, where Taylor Fritz, was he the last guy, by the way, to win in
28.
Memphis? Oh, he's 28?
Well,
I thought he's 31st.
He was runner-up, remember, against Kei Nishikori?
Oh, that's right. He lost to Nishikori.
Yeah, we were thinking that he was going to get his first career win in Memphis. He was so young. And but, yeah, he's 28th in the world. We only have 2 Americans in the top 32 seeds here at the U.S. Open, 4 in the women's side of the top 32. That's amazing. I mean, the women are doing a little bit better. We've got 16 men in the draw, 23 in the women's draw, but only 4 seeds in the women and only 2 seeds in the men. I mean, it's just tough. Only 8 Americans are in the top 100 days. That's amazing. I mean, this is on the men's side, and 13 in the top 100 in the women's side. So American tennis is really taking a back seat on this.
It has, but one thing that is magical is that setting at night in the Big Apple. Tell our listeners I know you've been a bunch of times in your life, but how good is it every time to be there, especially at night when the lights are bright?
It's probably one of the best events sports-wise at night. For tennis, for sure. I don't think any of the slams has the energy of Flushing in Arthur Ashe Stadium. When that first match going, the crowd gets so into it. There's no other tournament that the crowd, you'll see yells or boos or just cheers on, and they'll have, people dressed up like John McEnroe in the crowd. It's an amazing event. Tonight they have an opening night. It's a ceremony, kind of doing a tribute to Rod Laver. And it's just electrifying. It's just really a lot of energy. It's just amazing in that stadium.
All right, the men's thing is up for grabs, I guess, right? Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. We going to throw anybody else in there on the men's side?
Well, this guy named Medvedev has had a great summer. He won Cincinnati Masters, and he lost to the finals in Montreal in the Masters. He's the number 5th seed and number 5th player in the world. Russian player, 23 years old. His name just sort of kind of popped up. He just had a great year. They're kind of looking at him. He's on Novak's side of the draw, so he would have to play Novak in the quarters. And this year, Novak and Fed would meet up in the semis. Dominic Thiem and Nadal in the bottom half in the other semis, if they all four make it to the semis. So Novak's looking hot. I mean, he'd be the one you probably have to put your money on. He's played 34 Grand Slam matches, only lost one, and that was at the French Open. So he would be kind of the one to keep your eye on. But this Medvedev, you need to watch him. He's a good ball player. He's tough, and he could be one that we can watch for this first week.
Can Serena win?
Serena's got a tough time. I mean, she's got Sharapova. She should take Sharapova. They've played. I think she's beaten her 19 times. Sharapova's beat her twice.
Right.
That was back in 2004. So she
15 years ago.
Yeah, and Sharapova's ranking has gone down to like 87. So her game is just really depleted. But she does play well in the stadium here at Ash, and it's the opening night. You never know what can happen. But I'd have to say Serena should take that match.
So I guess, but if we're looking at it now, this girl Barty, who was an Australian that almost lost it. She lost the first set bad and had a rally to win, but she did win in 3 sets. And you got Osaki, the young lady that has already beaten Serena Williams at the U.S. Open, that was so controversial a year ago.
That, yeah.
Are those the 2 favorites, or how would you rank them?
Well, Osaka's the number 1 seed. So, another one we got to keep our eye on is Coco Gauff. Remember how she had a great Wimbledon? She got a wild card in here, and she would actually meet up Osaka in the 3rd round if she can make it through. So she plays tomorrow, so I think the energy will get back on her again once she gets back playing. And if she wins, that story may be kind of still coming up with her and Coco. We've really talked about a lot of her at Wimbledon. So, but Serena's down in the bottom half of the draw. She'd have to play Barty probably in about maybe the quarterfinals.
Kei Nishikori with the win today, 6-1 and 4-1 retired. And just not a nicer guy ever than the years through here.
I bet he misses Memphis.
I bet he does.
Yeah, he does. Remember, he won 3 in a row in Memphis. That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yep.
Before the tournament disbanded. And he actually, it moved to New York.
Right.
It's the New York Open now, and Riley Opeka won that. That was his first career win. So that's why he's hot this summer. So he won the number 11 seed off today. So,
it's out on Long Island, isn't it?
7th in the world. He's another ball player that could probably do it. Does well here at U.S. Open.
It'll be interesting. We'll talk to you a little bit later in the week. I'm sure this week sort of belongs to football, but we'll try to get updates if there's any great stories.
Give us a pick on Ole Miss and Memphis Saturday, Chuck.
I got to go with the Tigers, man. Yeah, they got to take those Rebels. Is that a home game or is that at Ole Miss?
At the Liberty Bowl.
Liberty Bowl, we're going to take them. Come on. Go Tigers. I'm so excited. Penny Hardaway and the sports program there, it's electrifying. I hope the college football season's great this year for them.
Thank you, my friend.
Very
we do
good
too.
job.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got it.
Enjoy it.
Have a great one.
Enjoy it. He loves being in New York. I don't blame him at all.
Either.
And he's going to have a lot of fun tonight. And I can see on our television in the Flynn Broadcasting Center here, there is Serena. She's warming up. She looks like she's in pretty good shape, too. Maybe a little bit better than she was earlier in the year. This portion of the show brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. I talk all the time about the new cars and all this new technology and how good it is and how you get 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. That's called Assurance. But they're also number 1, 11 years in a row when it comes to certified pre-owned. Part of that's the product, too, because these Hyundais, they last forever. And I think this is the perfect marriage of technology with business and service. They have a thing they call also the shopper assurance. That is visible, very transparent pricing. There is a flexible test drive where you can take the car a couple of times if you'd like, or take it for a couple of days. Third thing, you'll love this. If you buy, you're in and out, you're not there all day. And then the 3-day worry-free exchange. If you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to exchange the car. Go see why people are talking about how you do business, the car business, the right way if you go to Homer Skelton Hyundai.
67129 at the First Bank text line, 360-8255. First Bank phone line. And texter says when we were having the discussion about, and I don't think it will happen, but just 2 years for Chad Morris at Arkansas, and the texter said, like the chance Memphis gave Tubby Smith. Not the exact parallel, but what if, close enough, Gus out at Auburn, they have a chance to finally land him and bring him home to Northwest Arkansas, where he was a great high school football coach and was on Arkansas staff. After 2 years, and the AD that hired him, that hired Chad Morris, is no longer there. In fact, he was hired by committee, not even by AD. If Hunter Yurchek did that, there are some parallels there.
Well, let me ask you this. Fair question. I'm not sure I really know the answer. I have a suspicion. And I certainly can agree with the texter. I don't think that Tubby really ever got a chance, but Tubby probably was, in retrospect, and we see it now, hindsight's always 20/20, never should have been hired because he didn't have the energy at that point in his career to do things that you have to do to be a coach on this stage in this day and age. But Penny was universally loved by this community, by this city, by this university. Heck, he's now the spokesman for the airport. He's so popular. Is Gus Malzahn that same way in Northwest Arkansas?
I don't think so. I don't think he can. I don't think he'll let anybody love him.
He's a different kind of a guy, and he's not warm and fuzzy, and he's not gregarious, which is exactly what Penny is. So, I think that's a lot different. And this would be 2 coaches in a row, by the way, that this would have occurred with. Because Bielema got 2 years, and if you're telling me Chad Morris is going...
No, Bielema got much more than 2 years. Bielema was hired...
He didn't get more than 3, did he?
Oh, no. Bielema got almost 6. He was hired...
Really?
Yeah, he was hired the year after John L. that coached as the interim in 2012. Yeah, he coached 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 season. Yeah, he got plenty of time. He was awful.
5 years.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't think he got that long. I really didn't. One of those years wasn't the John L. Smith interim year?
Yeah.
That was 12?
Mm-hmm.
It's that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago that Bobby Petrino got
April 1st.
The motorcycle accident that was basically the strength coach?
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Man,
Bielema had that much time.
He had plenty of time.
Well, he did get him to the AutoZone Libertyville.
Because Jeff Long was so linked to him. I mean, he put.
Yeah.
I mean, it took everybody down.
And I'm trying. Jeff Long is where he's
Kansas.
Kansas, right? He's
Les
the guy.
Miles.
He's the guy that hired Les Miles.
You know who Jeff Long reports to? Bill Self.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's actually the case, but many people would say that it is.
Who do you think would have pecking order?
Oh, Bill Self has
both needs
the
University
most power.
Flame at 2:00 on Thursday. Who gets it?
Bill does.
Mm-hmm.
If Bill is trying to get a recruit in particular, we got.
If his wife wants to go to Neiman Marcus in Dallas and shop, he gets the plane.
We got to take a quick timeout. We are back in a matter of moments. We'll give you a little wrap on this thing, and we have crunch time coming your way. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
With everything happening downtown, it's great to know whatever you're going downtown to do, your choice for dinner is already made. It's 117 Prime. At 117 Union, Prime is the most centrally located fine dining destination in downtown Memphis, and make no mistake about it, whatever you're having at Prime, it is going to be fine dining. The chefs at Prime pride themselves on creating the best food you could hope for, all in the perfect location. No matter where you're going downtown, 117 Prime is an easy walk, but to make things even easier, Wednesday through Saturday, Prime offers valet service starting at 5 p.m.
Introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park. Top Tracer gathers data such as distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Compete against friends in a points game, long drive, and virtual golf at courses such as Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. Golf and Games Family Park is a great setting for group and company outings, golf lessons, or individual practice. Experience fun, friends, family, and introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles, when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Lemon Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Lemon Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemonbrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Monday's disappeared. Got crunch time coming your way in a little bit. I'll let you know this portion of the show brought to you by the Germantown Commissary. And while Brett and I may disagree on a lot this week, particularly on the game on Saturday, we are both in agreement that there is nothing
Walker
more
Taylor's
wonderful.
got it right, doesn't he?
Nothing more wonderful than Walker Taylor's recipe for slow-cooked, hickory-smoked barbecue at two places now. You know about the original. I think by now you know the one in Collierville, the one that's huge, the one that's got a drive-through, that one that has a patio with local beer on tap, that's got plenty of wine, that's got TVs out there where it's cool later in the year. You can watch football there, or go inside, big private room if you've got a watch group that you want to all get together, or even if you just love college football and you want to sit around and eat Q all day and sip on a beverage, they got them there for you. It's a perfect place to go, and it's so conveniently located. Triple the size, great parking. You will love it. I promise. Oh, by the way, a great place to go pick up tailgate on the way down because they got that drive-through. Germantown Commissary. They've doubled the fun. What a great place to go to get your food to tailgate. I can't tell you how excited I am about this game, and I just don't think that we're going to see the sloppiness. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I don't think we're going to see that sloppiness that we saw in the Florida.
Well, I hope not.
And Miami game.
But who saw that coming?
I
it was that bad, wasn't
it? It really was disappointing, to say the least. In the meantime, let's get to crunch time.
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time. You are looking live. It's crunch time. In your life, have you seen anything like that?
We'll take questions again for the student athletes at this time, please.
He's a professional. He's pretty classy for his age.
Crunch time, that's the frustrating part. Little Penny could make some appearances this year.
Okay, I'm not huge into stats.
Has it always been this way?
It's crunch time, so I got a different mind state.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
Is this thing working?
Immediately when the buzzer sounds, he lets out this shriek.
He throw those ears forward, and he was in stroke mode.
This is stupid.
It's obviously crunch time.
Time for Taco Bell Crunch Time. Taco Bell, home of the crispy tortilla chips, topped with a double portion of either seasoned beef or shredded chicken, plus refried beans, nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, guacamole, and a 3-cheese blend. Nachos Bel Grande, heaping portion of chips, topped with ground beef, tomatoes, beans, nacho cheese sauce, and a dollop of sour cream. Taco Bell, home to great food you get on your way home real fast, and they bring you crunch time every day. Drew, I learned today, and we learned this year the hard way. Dave is the master golf picking champ.
Oh!
From written
recognition.
From written off, over the hill, father time, to the comeback of all time. But I hope you didn't use up all that luck on the golf instead of some for Saturday for Tigers Rebs and some for the National League Central Cardinals Cubs.
It's not used up.
Okay.
It's not used up.
What'd you learn?
I learned today something's got to give. You talked about the August record for Ole Miss. It's perfect. It's 8-0. I talked about 11 o'clock in the morning at the Liberty Bowl, or actually for the Tigers, period. 9-0. Something else.
That's your scene set. We've got your work done for you, Saturday.
That home record of Mike Norvell is 18-3, but you know what the Rebels are in Memphis over the years? 25-8-2. Something's gotta give. And by the way, we also learned Mark Jones will be doing the game on ABC.
With Dusty Dvorak and Olivia Harlan Decker on the sideline, and Kevin Harlan's daughter.
Kevin Harlan's daughter.
Married to basketball player Sam Decker from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What is it you could have done without today?
I could have done without this Bill Belichick story on the retirement of Andrew, where he goes, he's a good player. I didn't see that, but I don't really follow him. We all have to make our decisions. He made his. I respect it. Well, to me, that's pretty well obvious what he means, but the Patriots actually had to go back, and their PR department had to say that they clarified that Belichick meant he didn't see his retirement coming. I think we got that from that.
Remember, Luck was the other quarterback in the deflate game, and he didn't complain about the deflated footballs because he liked to tack on them.
He did not.
Just as much. I could have done without this weekend. And of all weekends, the weekends you have the Yankees at Chavez Ravine playing the Dodgers in Major League Baseball tries to be hip and cool and approachable with those goofy-looking uniforms. To the people that aren't baseball fans that they want to attract with that, nobody's being attracted by that. Nobody. And what you're doing baseball when you try to be cool, first of all, don't try to be. You can't. Just take what you are, take who you are, and take who you have liking you. Because nobody was gravitating to that, and you run the risk of running off us that like it. That looked Bush League. It was sameness. I didn't know who the teams were.
I hated it. I didn't like it when I first read about it. They were going to do it. Look, I'm not going to take off that much on it because I like that you try to do something different to bring people's attention to your sport. This one just didn't work.
But you go Bush League uniforms?
I wouldn't do it again.
What are you keeping a close eye on tonight?
Oh, I'm keeping a close eye on the Cardinals and the Brewers, and I've got to be big time for the Brewers tonight. Got to be. Because the Cardinals are
used
starting
all
to
that luck up on that
pull
golf
away.
comeback, Dave.
I'm
afraid you did. Used up all that golf on all that comeback.
I'm going to watch the U.S. Open. As soon as we're out of here, I'm going to go watch Sharapova and Serena. That should be a lot of fun. There's U.S. Open tennis all night long there. I guess there's no Monday Night Football tonight.
No Monday Night Football. They did the dress rehearsal for that last week. I am keeping a close eye on this being the last week of preseason for the NFL. And the clock should be ticking for Ezekiel Elliott. We get a decision this week on him, don't we?
Yes.
He signs by
he signs
when? Friday?
He signs by
Saturday?
I was going to say Thursday.
Also, I'm keeping a close eye on this. Aren't we getting close on Tiger men's basketball schedule? You hearing anything? How close?
I asked about that today.
About 2 weeks?
I don't know what the holdup is here. So the Grizzlies do their thing.
All right, so we know.
So now we know the open dates. And then ESPN takes a look. So now you're waiting for national TV to make the final decision.
Which they won't have a lot of the
dates
Tigers.
they want. Exactly.
I'm also keeping an eye on SEC men's basketball official schedule release, the full schedule release for every game, conference and non and TV. Will there be any more surprise retirements around the NFL? Would that open the door to somebody go, hey, I know how that guy feels. I'm kind of in that same condition. I'm out of here too. Any more? Anybody up for any?
I
Eli
think
in New
usually
York?
after the fourth.
Anybody?
After the fourth game, I don't know about Eli. I think after the fourth game, there are guys, particularly in physical positions, that know they can't do it anymore, and the pain is just too much. You know, it used to be when you're a rookie, you're sore on Monday and Tuesday, you start to feel better. Wednesday, you're great, and you never recover when you're older.
I'm going to go home tonight and study the mountain of these game notes and depth charts. Also, I'm going to watch Cardinals and Brew Crew in Milwaukee. Sonny Gray going for the Reds. He's been real good this year for the Reds. Reds fourth in the National League in pitching. I thought if they pitched like that, they could win that division. They haven't hit. I'm surprised by that. And the Dodgers late with baseball's best record going in San Diego.
You don't think the Cardinals have wrapped up the Central
Not
Division?
even close. No.
Their pitching's been so good.
Defense has been great. Defense has been very improved. The Cubs defense is pretty shoddy.
And Dan McLaughlin pointed this out the other day, and I think it's interesting. He did not remember anybody in terms of errors from one year to the next that has gone from worst to first, and the Cardinals are in position to do that. Now, do you give that to Schulte?
I give Mike Schill credit for that.
Does he get – he should.
Yeah, yes, and I also give Paul Goldschmidt at first, not letting him as many baseballs get away from him as last year. I mean, you throw it over there in the dirt last year, it was getting by somebody. Paul Goldschmidt has really helped the defense.
Who was the one that told us that when the announcement was first made and we were talking about that acquisition, and he went on and on and saying –
Chris Raby.
Was it Chris Raby who said, not only are you getting an offensive guy?
I'm sorry. No, it was Tom Ackerman the day
That's
of
what I thought.
The game against the Redbirds.
He said, you watch, a lot of balls that would have been errors are going to be scooped up by Goldie. We got to thank Ted Butler, man. I'm so always sad when the playoffs are over. It's the last time we see Ted until next spring. Got to thank John Thompson for, once again, his great insight. Pat Smith filling in today for on college football. That was outstanding for sure. And then Chuck Melkent, who came to us live from New York City. We may check in with him again tomorrow. We know we got Jeff Moore tomorrow and a whole lot more. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Have you ever noticed your air conditioning system never breaks down at a good time? We know at Conway Services the timing's not always right to replace your air conditioning systems. That's why we have financing options available. Right now, during the dog days of summer, get your new Carrier air conditioning system for as low as $99 per month. That's right, Conway Services has new Carrier air conditioning systems as low as $99 per month. And you could do that. Plus, your new air conditioning system comes with a 10-year parts warranty, a free Nest thermostat, and you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Hi, this is Troy 5 owner of 5 Roofing. As most of you know, I don't have a history of bragging or boasting that 5 Roofing is the best roofer in the Memphis area, but did you know we are the only diamond-level roofing professional in the area? We are one of very few local roofing companies that have been in business for 20 years. We've never had a justified claim against us. We are locally owned and family operated. Our labor warranties are for the life of the shingles. We're experts in insurance claim. We do residential and commercial work. We are the official roofer of the University of Memphis Athletic Department and a proud member of the Tigers home team. We support local youth sports and St. Jude's. We have worked with churches and veteran services to help those in need by providing services at a deep discount or even for free. We are currently working with Young Life to give them a free roof on the historic log cabin in Germantown. 5 Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing. It's what we do. We're here for you.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
One thing I've learned over the years, no matter what you're buying, the smart thing to do is to buy from someone who sells quality products, delivers great personal service, and knows their business inside and out because they have over 2 decades of experience. When you're talking about insurance, it's more important than ever because you're counting on your agent to come up with a policy that's exactly what you need from a company you can absolutely depend on, be there when you need him, and save money all at the same time. When you deal with William Glass or any of their staff at the Glass Group, you're not only in good hands, you'll find out that you can put the money a lot of insurance companies spend on advertising on the World Series or college football or basketball in your pocket while you enjoy first-rate coverage on your home, auto, and business with things like Rate Lock on your car. So you're not canceled for a wreck or a speeding ticket. Guaranteed replacement on your home and contents, earthquake coverage, and outstanding rates for business on workman's comp, commercial auto, and any other business need you may have. Worried about mayhem? Call William Glass at the Glass Group, 843-1190. They'll handle it for you, 843-1190. When it comes to your pet, you want nothing but the best in boarding, daycare, and grooming, and we say thank you, Memphis, for voting Barks and Recreation #1 in Best Pet Grooming in this year's Memphis Most competition. We're also #1 in boarding with indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please, while they're being cared for by the best staff in Memphis, one that includes overnight staffing to ensure the safety and happiness of your pet 24 hours a day. And we're #1 in daycare with indoor and outdoor play areas, individual and group playtime, 4 walks a day, and small play groups to make sure that your pet gets the individual attention they deserve. Make your reservations now at barksdaycare.com or call us at 901-509-0909. Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove, between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis.
Did you know that paying a traffic ticket is an admission of guilt? It is, and it could result in higher insurance rates and add points to your driving record, which could result in your license being suspended or even revoked. It's amazing how simple things can turn into major problems, and it's why no matter what legal problem you may have, you need to know exactly what your rights and your options are. You need an attorney who is only interested in one thing, fighting for you, and I've got one for you, Chelsea Rainey. You can call her for a free, convenient phone consultation at 901-647-4861. Traffic tickets, driving while impaired, drug charges, misdemeanors, divorce. If you live in the Metro Memphis area and you've been accused of a crime, you need to speak to attorney Chelsea Rainey about your options and your legal rights. Chelsea Rainey is dedicated to advocating and protecting your rights. Your initial consultation is free, and attorney Chelsea Rainey is always on call, always available at 647-4861. That's 647-4861.
There are 2 or 3 things in life that you simply can't live without if you live in the Mid-South. One of them is air conditioning. We take it for granted, never think about it, till it stops working, and then when you're miserable, you make the mistake of calling the big name company, and you pay way more than you should, or you call somebody who shouldn't be working on your lawnmower, much less something as important and complex as your HVAC system. When you need air conditioning or heating help, make the smart call to Dunn Heating and Air Conditioning at 494-9040. Brooke Dunn takes pride in his work. He'll treat you fairly, he knows his business, and he comes with the complete backing of the old Rain Man as he's about to become my son-in-law. And University of Memphis supporters will undoubtedly remember his grandfather, Coach Al Brown. Dunn Heating and Air Conditioning, 494-9040. That's 494-9040.
You finally found it, the vehicle of your dreams. You know it's got everything you want, you just don't know the price. Until now, shop one-price pre-owned vehicles today at AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Now, every pre-owned vehicle is clearly marked with our lowest price, guaranteed. That means no negotiations, no pressure, just one low price. And every certified AutoNation pre-owned vehicle is inspected in 125 different places, so there's no worries. Plus, your purchase is protected with a money-back guarantee for 5 days or 250 miles, whichever comes first. And as America's largest automotive retailer, you can shop one-price pre-owned vehicles from over 250 stores coast to coast. That's something you can count on. Shop over 20,000 one-price pre-owned vehicles at AutoNation.com or visit AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Drive pink, drive safe, drive now. AutoNation. Certain terms, conditions, and restrictions may apply. See store for complete details.
Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by Gateway Tire and Service Centers, where there's always one thing you can count on. We go the distance for you. So before you hit the road for a trip across country or just across town, drop by any one of our 12 Memphis area locations. Whether it's tires or auto repair, you can always count on one thing. At Gateway Tire and Service Center, we go the distance for you.
Memphis Sports Radio welcomes you to the following presentation of Southern Sports Report.
The following program contains frank and honest commentary on sport. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Gateway Tire and Service Center's Southern Sports Report with John Rainey, the Rain Man, and Whitey Mills with Stat Attack Sports in Springdale, Arkansas. You can join the show by dialing 360-8255. Can't get to a phone? Email us at theboys@southernsportsreport.com.
Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by All-Star Sports, celebrating 41 years of excellence in sports handicapping. Van Atkins Jewelers in New Albany and Oxford.